What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Surprise! It is Wednesday, and we have a special
We're
replay
back.
because Tuesday, Ms Maggie T took her daughter out to see Kendrick Lamar and SZA on yesterday. So, if you didn't notice, Ty Hill, the Loch Ness podcast was on during our time slot, so you still had some entertainment, but it wasn't the Ladybirds, but Ladybirds wanted to come in and have a conversation about these draft picks. You got to hear it from us as well. Y'all don't heard
Yes.
enough from the fellows, so we got to get in here and give our viewpoint. So, welcome everybody to the Ladybirds of AFN show. We are appreciative of you. We thank you. Oh, wait. Well, did you even give me an intro? Give me time. Good Lord.
He done butted me off the top part.
I mean, damn, just bombard him.
Oh, I thought I had to wait to get in here. My bad. My bad.
You have to wait to get in here.
I'm not trying to step on no toe. Don't y'all jump me.
Well, you in now. So
He said, slide on over.
Slide on in and just slide me on down.
So, but we are the Ladybirds of AFN, in case some folks don't know. And I'm your host, Ms Maggie T. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How you doing? And right next to me, who do we have?
Hey, I'm Auntie Pam down in Seatown, Columbus, Georgia. Welcome to the Wednesday promptu show.
Hey, Wednesday. And of course, we was lucky that Heavy Hitters won't be on tonight. So, It worked out perfectly that we're a little late. Maggie decided she was going to take her a little quick 30-minute that turned into a whole hour.
You deserve it. Don't worry about it.
I had
you had a long night.
I had a long night.
Buddy.
You're right. I told my stepfather, I was like, you know what? I realized I am no longer 20 anymore. So that was a lot. It was fun, but I'm tired. Now, my little lady, she went to work. She just going about her business and whatever. I still needed my nap tonight before this show. And right underneath me, introduce yourself, Miss Lady.
You already know it's your girl Whitney J from the A, ready to slay on this Wednesday, even though my nose is runny, but it's okay. I'm here with y'all.
Hey, your nose is runny.
Yes, because the weather is trying to be funny and get hot, which I love, but then these allergies want to keep touching me. I'm just like, dang, just hurry up and turn to summer so this pollen can go.
Oh my gosh. And the honorable guest on the show, I was going to introduce you and all that and say, okay, we're bringing folks in, but come on, introduce yourself. Who are you, since you're so eager to join us Ladybirds tonight? Let them know who you are.
Hey, man, y'all already know who it is. Boy, Will the Georgia Reaper, man. Y'all tell me on Wednesday night and anything, but, I'm here with the boss lady tonight. So, I ain't mean to interrupt they show. I might get jumped out there, but,
Well, I only said if it was going to be a full house, and I think we probably won't be full until regular season. So, you're pretty.
Y'all get full, I step right on off. I step out.
I think everybody chill. It's an impromptu show. We love having people come in. It was funny how you did it.
Yeah.
All right. So let me go.
See, I'm used to folks got to put me on the stage. I ain't used to just jumping right up in there. I don't know.
I know. I guess you logged into the phone on a different way. That's fine. But let's go ahead and drop this link here to everybody. I know a couple of more folks wanting to come on and join us, and it's okay. But with that being said, let's go ahead and give a shout out to our fans in the chat. I know it's like 22 of y'all in the chat. Appreciate you for finding us.
Appreciate you.
Wednesday night. But Deshaun Coswell, what's up, Queens? Yeet. Get some. Darius Glover, what up, ladies? Represent ATL. Y'all doing damn thing. Good work.
Thank you.
Cooking and everybody shut up. Enjoy your meal. Let them cook. Let them cook. That's what I'm talking about. Will the Thrill, our franchise international player. What's good, Atlanta Falcons Nation? everyone's good. It's Thursday.
Yeah.
Well, for you, of course.
Oh, he stays up late.
Yeah. Hello, ladies and gents. What's going on, Brian Peoples? Yeet. Ladybirds, yeet. I'm telling you, y'all, these yeet.
Georgia Rita.
Hello, 8137 Sauce.
Hey, Sonia.
Hi, ladies. ATL Leo. Y'all in here now, Douglas. Farrington, my bro Drake, my favorite wide receiver, rise up Falcons. Big Will bully his way in.
Yeah.
Yeet, ladies. That's what that's okay. We love it. We absolutely love it though. No, seriously, it's really truly no problem. It's just I think during the draft it was a lot of people, so I didn't expect it to be just a bun rush of folks anyway. So let's go ahead and get into this conversation. Yeah. And while we get into this conversation, I just want to just commend our fans again shout out to Ms. Pam. Just want to give her flowers for just being the MVP Ladybird of
yes,
AFN.
ma'am.
Yeah.
On morning, noon, and night.
Yeah, we were in the bins.
Man, and we went to the bins. And we turned around and did the draft show after that. So yeah, it's been a heck of
Yep.
So shout out to Ms. Pam for just holding it down for the Ladybirds. And just being the greatest part of this panel, and helping out Mr. Coach, then Big Will, he was on there too, chopping up. Everybody else stood there, and we ended up, Mike had to come and tell y'all to get off, go to bed after that final pick. He was like, that was fun. Draft, but it's like, no, that last pick is in, go to bed. Coach, especially. Yeah. Oh my God. So I was trying to come in and give y'all, breaks and stuff. I said, go take a nap, go eat, go do something. Step away from the computer is all I suggested. MVP, yeah, that's right. So let's have this conversation. Because I think I want to get this one out the way because it always happens every freaking year now. It's like the Falcons. Oh my God! It did not say. Oh, it's on the AFN. I just realized it. I forgot we had a little Falcons folder, but never mind. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Sorry about that. I forgot we had a Ladybirds folder, but I didn't put everything under there. So the NFL fines the Falcons $250,000 and Jeff Ulbrich $100K over Shador. What is that? Shador
Sanders.
Legendary.
Okay. So that just shows that who cares about that player? I don't. So how do you feel about that, Pam? That fine. Is it appropriate punishment, or do you think that they could have let off the Falcons just a little bit?
Now, the organization, I felt they should have not punished us as an organization. Now, Jeff, yes, they should find him. But the problem I'm having is what they gonna do about his son. That's my problem right there. What punishment are they gonna levy against him? Is what my problem is. You're gonna punish the dad for what the son did. He's 21 years old. He's an adult. He needs to be punished as well. Yeah. So that's the issue I got right now. Maybe they're not making it public or what.
Just a public apology is what they said he was going to do. Just call.
Oh no, he need to be punished too. Yeah, he need to be punished.
He already did his public apology, but they technically can't do nothing to it because prank calling ain't illegal. But that's what they.
Oh no! Now they got it on video now.
But he wasn't the one who made the call. It was the other dude that made the call. He was on the side.
He was kind of beside him, just kind of
Yeah.
But my question is,
but he did get the number though.
My
He
question
got
is,
number.
he got the number, true enough. My question is, what is the university going to do about it? Because this was done on a college campus. And what are the policy and the procedure for us doing that, and the code of conduct for that college? That's the question right there.
I
Well,
mean, but
they
the
ain't.
thing is, oh,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay,
I would think the situation is that while it was stupid,
Mm-hmm.
it's not illegal. It was dumb, but it was no harmful nature behind it. You have people who pull pranks that end up having people unalived. You have people pull pranks that have people injured or different things like that. Now, was
Mm-hmm.
Shador embarrassed? Yeah, but it was
Mm-hmm.
already a situation going on where he was embarrassed. To the fact is that you thought you was going to go in the first round, then you thought you was going to go in the second round. You
Mm-hmm.
already dealing with a situation right now. You dealing with a prank call, I would think would be the last thing. Even if it was done on a college campus, they might try to hit them with something, but I just don't see that being
Mm-hmm.
something that a college would even entertain
I don't
about
know.
something.
This is a
It was
PR nightmare. It could be a PR nightmare for them. I mean, because it's blowing out of proportion right now for for the fan base and everybody else, blowing it out of
Well,
proportion.
what I was saying though, like it's been doing it for years. They put more emphasis on this time because Shador was dropping like he was. He was
correct.
falling. He was falling like a mother. So they've been doing it for years. So that's why I say they really
But
not
now
gonna be
you
mad to
got
the
video
sun.
evidence that he did
But
this. You got video.
but it wasn't him though, Auntie. It wasn't him though. That's the
Is
point. They can't put it on him.
video evidence that he did this.
He got the number. He didn't pull the
But
prank call. He got the
still,
number.
it's caught on tape.
So
Are
that's
you
that's
saying
hard
like
to
this
like.
is
But
not
it caught on
association
tape.
just moving in a row,
Yeah.
but yeah, I see what you're saying, Pam.
But it
Yeah.
gonna cost him with his dad though. His dad gonna put his foot off in the air. He called me 100,000, boy.
Oh yeah.
But
Oh
it
yeah.
gonna make the NFL look at the security measures they got
Security update.
with these numbers. It gonna make them
But
look at, cause they do it like I said, they do it every year. So
but at the same time, it's a careless mistake of his as well.
Mm,
You really sensitive information like me. I know we got kids. Like shit, I went into my phone around prom time. I'm looking at my daughter with selfies all up into it. So if I had some sensitive information, that's my fault for her having access to getting in there. So dad also had to be a little bit better when it comes to that type of information to make sure that's
mm-hmm.
separate from access to everybody. Just lying around, walking around and go get something to drink or something. It's like, oh, what is this I'm looking at? So it's a careless mistake as well. So I feel that
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about that healthy fine, but something towards Jeff, yes. I'm thankful it wasn't a draft pick. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus.
I believe that would have been too fucking extreme, to really be honest, to
Yeah.
go after a
Yeah.
draft pick.
Yeah.
Really, honestly, I feel like y'all are saying, it was other players who were called.
Yeah.
It was other players who were called, who were
Mm-hmm.
super embarrassed, who got called and who got picked up in later rounds than Shador
Mm-hmm.
did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But because it's
Yeah.
Deion's son and what was going on, it was way more spotlight put on it.
Yeah.
Deion already
Yeah.
forgave him. Shador forgave him.
Mm-hmm.
I personally believe he should be suspended from the Benz for a year. That they need to work on security protocols and what to do. But I'm like, this man used to be a head coach, well, interim head coach. He's been a DC. This man has been a player. He has been a coach for all this time. You're not going to think that your 21-year-old son is going to be so careless to go in your tablet. That's your job. Put your job at risk to
At
pull
risk.
a silly prank like that. It was silly.
That's what bothers me with it. I'm gonna let you finish. It's like, do you understand
Mm-hmm.
who your dad is? The role he just
That's his
got.
livelihood.
This is the biggest night of the year. And this man has already highlighted this player because of how he kept dropping round by round and he was made a big hype. Why target him in the first place? I mean, That's my thing. The target was already out there for you to be found out if you was going to go that route.
I'm with King Richie. I feel bad for Aubrey because I don't think he deserved. Yes, he left his laptop, his iPad open. I get it. But that son did more than he needed to do. You know, you got access to his iPad and you decided to go ahead and do these print cards as a joke. But you really put his livelihood on the line by doing that. You know, and the idea that they're not punishing him, they punishing the dad. I get why they punishing the dad because he did leave the iPad open.
Yeah, it's still clear.
I think he should get punished. He should get punished also. You know, I'm feeling he's getting a slap on the wrist for what he did. I mean, but I get it. Most people saying he's being punished because he's getting death threats and he probably his face is out there. Hey, you the guy that did this prank call. I mean, his future as far as going to getting a job, going up the interview, he gonna be reminded that hey, he was the one did the prank call to Shadura. So that's gonna probably be carrying on him. So that's probably be a lasting punishment for him in the future. But what I'm talking about, as far as punishing, for the act itself, I feel he's not being punished for that.
Yeah, I think it was the security situation. But I'm gonna pull out one talent. I ain't gonna go full talents. I'm gonna pull out one.
Mm-hmm.
The people on Twitter calling for that man's job, saying it was a HIPAA violation. You are stupid. If you actually know what a HIPAA violation is, that is regarding medical records. Let me explain something to you. What he took? The NFL give draft players phones every year. That's why we always see players who get drafted with 2 phones. The NFL sends them phones with numbers. They never give their personal number unless there's additional information where they go within the teams, because we all know there's rules and regulations when it comes to drafting. His person, other than that cell phone number, nothing else was there. Nothing else was there. It was literally. Hey, come on, bro. Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
I had got a phone call in. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I said what was there was the telephone numbers of the players who the NFL telephone numbers. Excuse me. We all remember seeing CD Lamb snatched the telephone number out his girlfriend's hand. Why is that? Because one was an NFL, one was his personal phone, and she tried to be fucking slick.
Yeah.
That's all it was. Yes, it was careless. Yes, we're trying to get hit with fines and shit like that. But for people calling for that man, I am excited about Jeff. I'm excited about Jeff. And while there needs to be some protocol and stuff like that, the call for that man's job is asinine and saying that, oh, if there was a black coach and a black kid and this and this and that. No, excuse me. It has been pranks every year. All the time. It has nothing to do with black and white in this situation. I know how shit go. This has something to do with the fact is that who Shador's father is. Let me repeat that again for you. Yeah. This has to do not with black and white, but because who Shador Sanders is. There was that player who's a white player who was sitting up here crying when he got pranked over the phone. Stop playing.
Yeah,
I'm down for everything, and I love calling out racism and injustice in every instance. But this ain't it this time. This ain't it. So just stop with the bullshit.
And I like what Darius Glover said. I feel like they this is because the Falcons was killing them in this draft. All of a sudden, they suddenly this call. Now I want to go back up to who said it. If you want to add something, here it goes, D. Coleman. Because what I was going to say, and then glad you spoke on it with because it's probably not any information on that phone. It was just a phone to call. So I was saying, like, I work from home and I work for United Healthcare. So I have to lock my PC and all this. So I do have sensitive information that I look at your medical records and things like that.
Yeah.
So me carelessly leaving my screen is crucial. But
yeah,
all that they had or iPad he had with, I guess, the players' phone numbers that they give those players to call as a, you know, hey, because we don't want, basically they do this because they want to avoid other people calling them. Oh my God, Franny, you're on the draft. It is interrupting people calling. So it's like, no, we rather give the players a separate phone,
separate phone number
just for the draft, so it can be uninterrupted, because every second counts when it comes to that draft. Because it's like, you got to think about it. Your player is dropping. You got this team that just picked something that you was going for. You got to be at the spur of the moment and get somebody. So they don't want to risk it. So they give them a phone. To me, that's not personal information. That's not medical records. It's nothing. So it's not a HIPAA violation. It's not a fireable offense. It's a careless offense, but not a fireable situation at all. It's a, you know, don't do that shit again. You know, let me get your iPad, man.
There.
You know,
and they probably someone saying there's his play. They might even may have his playbook in there too. But still, I think the Sun wouldn't dare, you know, spread that information.
That damn playbook. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know play. Well, I mean, but at the same time, we don't know exactly all
what
the
was all in there.
Even if he had something with all the phone numbers, he could have migrated it to his system. You know, we make things easy for ourselves as we get older. So you just never know. So we're gonna go ahead and finish.
He is a college student.
Let's be real. It's because it's Atlanta. Let's be real.
Yeah.
It's because it's Atlanta. They do not like Atlanta, and we know that.
Yeah.
They do not. Got the what are they? The Dallas owner don't like Arthur Blank because he don't go along with everything like if all the other owners do with him. Come on, man. Let's be real for what it is. It's because it's Atlanta. And because it's Shador, he was falling down the goddamn draft board. They needed something to blame, so they had to blame him.
Yeah.
How you gonna fire somebody that ain't got shit to do with play calling on the field? And that's what he got. That we got hired for. He ain't never did the draft before. This is his first time doing the draft.
And you're right about that. Well,
first time they include him in that.
But no, he had some influence in it. So I guess that's where they're feeling like, oh, you know.
Come on, that's stupid shit they talking about. They talking about dumb shit.
And we got
they just call it what it is. Tell me you don't like me. Tell me you don't like me.
What's up,
Hey,
Christy?
everybody.
Hey.
Hey.
Did you get a gist of what we were talking about?
Yeah. You know what? And this whole situation made me think about as a person that has to deal with a lot of confidential information. My kids grew up in my office, in my building, and a lot of children they come in and out, and we have never thought about. Well, my kids would know better because I've threatened, you beat them where they stay, and I'm that kind of mama.
Yeah.
And don't touch nothing. Go to sleep. I'm gonna take you to the bathroom. They know what that means. And so as an adult, I think he knew better. But one thing that a lot of media brought out is that the prank is very common every year, but it's how he got the information that was wrong. So, it's the whole responsibility was on his dad because, you have to secure. You have to secure that type of information. And one thing that Mr. Technician brought up earlier, that it violates HIPAA, and he's not lying when it relates to certain things about personal information. The number of even companies that have, if there's a breach and then there's a small class action lawsuit related to those breaches, I mean, there's a penalty to pay for that. And so the NFL, made sure they move real fast. And I shout out to Maggie T for being one of the first people to actually put it out there about that the NFL had said, had fined the Falcons and him as well for that breach of information. That's really what they got him for.
Yeah. And it may have some medical records on there, y'all. They have the injury report of.
No, I don't believe none of that. I don't believe it. None of that stuff was in there.
iPad.
You breaking up this a little bit, Pam.
I don't believe none of that. I don't believe none of that stuff was in there, because if it was HIPAA, this would have been a whole completely different situation. If that was a HIPAA violation, it was just a security breach.
Yeah,
that's basically what it is, a security breach. Because I'm like, because HIPAA would go beyond just the NFL. That's a federal offense when you're dealing with HIPAA, and that's not in the case with this. This is just a security breach.
Security breach. Yeah.
Right. When it comes to personal information, that privacy and confidentiality part.
Yeah. So, and what our Brian Peoples member for 16 months. Shout out to you being consistent.
Hey, Brian People.
Thank you. That could possibly put a target on the Obridge if he goes for a head coaching job too.
You think so? I think when this phase over, if he does a good job, and again,
I think it'll be overlooked.
If it would have been a stink on the Sanders side, like if they would have said, "I can't believe this information," you haven't heard them say anything to that effect. It's like everybody just moving on. They accepted, the apology. They reached out to the family.
Yeah.
They made public apologies. They were swift.
Nobody
delayed on the reaction part of it. It'll be just like the media when anybody else that breaches your personal information, they send you an email, saying, "Hey, there's been a breach at my company, this, and this." And sometimes it'll be like a little lawsuit or something like that, but
they do some like permanent timeouts or some kind of setting on their device that they can't avoid, and it's administrative setting that only somebody behind the scenes can control. But you time out at a certain time, as well as it could look he's heavy in the draft. He's heavily involved in the draft. That he takes it home and takes it serious. He eats, sleep, and breathe it. It can be either way. It's how you apples and how you compare the situations. Like, well, he's just a hardworking guy, and he wanted to be all up in the know of these players, because these draft picks was the most important part of this season to start on the right foot.
Right. Then nobody's required to be the current culture. Since COVID, a lot of jobs don't require you to be in your office at specified times. You had that flexibility of working from home or you totally work from home. I'm sure he had split time between he's able to be flexible enough to work from home. I mean, it's the current culture. Nobody's just at work, and a lot of your equipment. I have equipment at home that's work related, and they have me to bring it in, or they ask for the code numbers off the equipment to know where the equipment is for inventory purposes. A lot of people are having to do that, because if you work from home or you have a flex schedule, some of your equipment belongs to somebody. If you're not self-employed for just yourself, if you're working for a contractor or another company, they require, a lot of times want you to use their equipment.
Yeah.
So, and you have it all over the house. It's not just, unless it's specified, it's really not just in one area. And so me personally, I could see how it would be that easy. And can you really control? I mean, come on. I have adult children and raising another set of kids. You can teach somebody you can teach them things. We ourselves, we've been taught, but do you do everything right all the time? You don't I don't think this was a mistake. He knew what he was doing was wrong. But we all done tried to do stupid stuff, as a young adult.
That was stupid.
And
as
an old adult. So I ain't discounting it. He should apologize. And if I was his daddy, you're gonna have to figure out how to help pay this $100,000. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'll be
Um,
mad a long doggone time, and I still think he should be banned from NFL games and stuff like. I think it should have went a little further with Jax, that he shouldn't be allowed to do certain things. But
Yeah.
I'm inclined to believe that it was NFL was a part of this shit.
Mhm.
All these billions of dollars that y'all make here, you telling me you ain't got no face analyzation type tech or something for these computers or something to protect these numbers? Come on, bro.
I didn't even
I
think
think
about
they like that publicity,
They
and it
try to
just was,
make the team to be the
yeah.
fall guy of this
got to have
issue.
an example out of
It was
somebody.
just it
right,
was just
you're
Yeah.
blown out of
right, Miss
proportion
Pam,
because
because
Deion
they
Sanders
say
was
it.
involved
Right,
and his Atlanta
right.
Falcons. That's it.
And they
Mm.
say it happened It happened to 7 other players this season, and it happens
Exactly.
absolutely every year. Every year it has happened that
Yes.
college students or somebody prank call to
Mm-hmm.
pretend that somebody got drafted. So if not from his dad, I mean, somebody probably would have got him or got somebody else's. Somebody
Exactly.
got your number that know your personal number. I'm sure all he had to do with this in this instant was change his number. Um,
Yeah.
Again, if you're a person of influence, stuff can happen for you pretty quickly. I wouldn't know because I ain't got no money, but
Shoot.
I'm sure if I had some money, if I need my number changed, it could probably happen in the blink of an eye. And who needs to have it will have it.
But true, but in
So
this
that kind of
situation,
thing.
he wouldn't even need to change his number. It wasn't his number to begin with. It was the NFL.
It was the NFL
Right.
number. It was a phone that they gave for
The
receive
purpose of the call.
for the
And you
draft
know what, Whitney?
purpose.
If that's true, then how are the pranks happening every year? So that you're right. Somebody, I'm like
Mm-hmm.
Will. Somebody, how is it getting out there that players get pranked every year? That it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's their
Yeah.
personal phone numbers that they're calling to, and it's like, oh well, because is it being leaked? Like that's more of an investigation right there. If
Mm-hmm.
phone numbers are being leaked, some ain't right.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Right. Right.
Because I'm just
So
like
how is
other
that?
players are saying it, and these players don't expect these type of calls on their personal cell phones. They know
Right.
it's going to come through that phone. So I'm just saying, if it's other players that this and did to, why is there not a bigger thing? Or is it something with the coaches' kids or something like that each year? Who can get access to what? I'm like, because it just make no sense for this to be this year where this is like super fucking highlighted.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just think it's like you said, it's who it is. But look,
It's the Falcons.
the
That's why.
ATL. Right. The ATL is the Southern Hollywood. Will there ever be
Mm-hmm.
no life without a little drama? Seems like we the only people that have a little bit drama, but I'd rather have this drama than, just listening across the NFC South, just listening. I've had joy. Well, I shouldn't. I really should. I've had joy watching some of the Saints podcasts, and I've had joy
Oh
in listening.
yeah, they're not
I take
happy.
I take I take Bright. I take this coach paying 100,000 and the Falcons paying 250 compared to what we're seeing. I mean, what they're experiencing. I think we still.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're gonna fire him because if they did, the NFL would have said, this penalty will include, getting rid of your coach. But they said change some of your policies
Mm-hmm.
on privacy and
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
trainings and other things about you know confidential information, and that's what they stated. So I don't think he's being fired. But you know what was interesting with that in today that they had a press conference with Cal Smith, who is the assistant
Mm-hmm.
GM, and then Jerry Gray had a press conference about a
I
couple of
was watching
hours
that.
ago.
Yes.
So I was
Yes.
like, hey, it was just like what Terry said. He said, I'm not doing this by myself. It's a team of us. And I really like that they're pushing to show people that
Pushing.
it's a team based approach to how they are working together. for the success of the
The
team.
offensive coordinator was on today too. He came on too.
So,
I didn't even put that yet. So
yeah,
let's go ahead.
It was a few minutes ago.
Let's see what Will the Thrill, because we got Big Will, now we got Will the Thrill. So
one of us got it. One of us got to have a nickname on both of them.
We'll call him the Thrill. How about that? The Thrill. What's up, the Thrill? So
what's good? Thank you for having me, ladies.
What's happening?
Yeah, from my side, I just feel like I seen the fines coming. I said to you guys a couple of days ago, I felt like something was going to happen because they were going to make an example of us, not just because of what happened with that call specifically, but there was another guy got called on just as UDFA was starting, and basically they said that they were the Falcons as well, so they were going to single us out. But as I say, it's wider than just us. Abdul Carter got one before the Giants took him early in round 1 as well, so I think there needs to be a full league investigation into this. I think it's not just one team that's doing it. But I think
he was just a dummy that put it on, out there. Look, friends,
yeah,
I'm breaking him. Like, why record it, man?
No, for sure. And then, as I say, Windows L cost us $250K. Is it really that difficult to lock your screen when you're not on the phone with the kids? But Falcon's going to Falcon. It's something silly every year. Like I shared in the chat as well, like the amount of stuff we've lost in penalties over the last sort of 10 seasons is insane. Like the drama levels are just...
It's a lot. It's definitely a lot. And speaking of, we're going to pull that up real quick. Because you did put that in the chat. Then we're going to move on to the next conversation. I think
that's what I was saying, Deco, but he don't want that attention because it's drawing to him now.
So he basically put up that, where is it? Somewhere back here. I'll find it in a minute. Here, no, that's not it. Where'd you put it, Will? Oh, here you go. So, according to Nyght, in the past decade, the Falcons have been fined for $350K and a 5th round pick for illegal crowd noise.
I remember that.
$75K and $25K to the head coach for an injury report violation.
I remember that too.
The bullshit.
$250,000K and a 5th round pick for tampering with Kirk Cousins, as well as $250, of course, right here with the DC for prank calling. So I think we got Blackberry in the back. So yeah, that means we can win the Super Bowl. That's what that means,
Well, that's what across since 2015, so what, 10-year span. If you look across other teams, though, they've had similar or worse. Then it's like nobody's avoid of penalties. No team has been avoided of these type of penalties. So
we only one getting fined for it because it's a team this year that did the same thing that Kurt did, and they decided not to make it findable.
I'm about to say they didn't find the Eagles when it came to Saquon, did they?
It was another team that did it. Yeah, they didn't do it. No.
Right.
So Blackberry,
yo,
you don't squoze up in here to the Ladybirds show. Let us know. We're gonna finally move on, but I know you might want to intervene and have a little feedback on this over situation.
Not really. I won't talk football.
Gotcha. So
let's move on.
The right thing to say there. So let's talk some football.
Yeah.
So with that being said, so thank you everybody for your feedback and everything, and everybody that jumped on and stuff like that. So like I said, it's exciting time. Everybody want to talk football now that we can, because now we have an idea of where the players are going, where the team is going and headed as far as the draft picks that came along. So of course our next question is next topic is Falcons pick up Drake London's 5th year option.
Woo woo.
Yes.
And of course, to me, short but sweet, well deserved.
Yep.
You know, it's no doubt in my mind that was supposed to happen. Bottom line, that's a player that I see a longevity with, only getting better. And I thought I had his little stats up here so y'all can see it. Here we go. But a shout out to Will Thrill, the Thrill. I'm gonna have to get UC out with these names. For this stats right here, just about Drake London. 100 receptions, 9th. 1,271 receiving yards, 47 and 9 touchdowns, 9th in the league. 2026 salary, 16.8 million guaranteed.
And just to add one more thing to that, as I said, to follow on from that, the only other 2 receivers to make 100+ grabs was Justin Jefferson at 103 and Jamar Chase with 121. Now, you're in some pretty elite company there, so there was no other option but to pay the man.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Then
I agree.
I believe if he actually would have had an actual good quarterback, no telling what his numbers would be at. So this is actually a good look. Shout out to number 5.
Shout out to him.
Congratulations. Well deserved.
Heads up, people. In case you're kind of seeing Will Thrill for the first time this week, he's been kind of behind the scenes. He's our international player across the pond, where we're getting ready to highlight our international shows soon. So he just kind of get his feet wet. It's actually morning time, his time, so he's a trooper right now. But you guys start seeing him. Put some thumbs up and red and blacks in the chat if you like seeing with Will the Thrill. If you're ready for this international morning show, I have a little bit more flexibility, so I'll be able to jump on a morning show with him until we can get our team, because we're gonna be we'll be drafting international players to join that conversation. So shout out to him. But let's go ahead and finish up this conversation. No, thank you, Will. Will the Thrill. Anybody else want to intervene on this? Just Drake London getting what is truly deserved. Anyone?
Well deserved. He's a dog on the field. I mean, like Whit, getting back to what Whit said, the quality of the quarterbacks hadn't been really good, but I have to give it to Drake. He actually make those quarterbacks better by making some good catches. So I would say he's a good receiver.
Yeah,
Big Will.
Big Will.
Big Will.
I'll take over if you don't.
Go ahead.
Well, the Thrill while we waiting on Will.
Too many Wills. No, I was just going to say, he's a decent sized body for this new look offense as well. I'm pushing heavy for Nick Nash, but you picture being a 5'10" safety, and then you're coming up against the Falcons, who've got receivers at 6'3", 6'4", 6'6", respectively. That's not a fun look for the opposition, in my opinion.
All right, what was the question, ma'am? I stepped away for a minute.
We're talking about Drake London, the 5th-year option.
I think they need to go ahead and get that contract done as soon as possible before he become too expensive. Because if he go off this year, he finna cost. If he go off this year, he gonna cost some bread. So I say get that contract done as soon as possible.
Yeah,
because they can do it and it don't kick into effect until the next year. So they can go on and set it right now and kick him. Y'all forget my dog. He's snoring like he got a job or something. But you can kick that into effect. You know what I'm saying? Go on the sound in there, kick it into effect.
Yeah, because they cap space is going to increase next year to what, about more than $40 million, $47 million next year. The cap space. So they'll have more flexibility and money. So it'll be just like what Will said. If they're going to do something,
better do it now.
Might better go. Because he's going to show out. I have a feeling he's going to show out, Will.
He going to show out. He got a quarterback.
He's going to show out this year. I believe he's going to show out.
He gave you a piece last year. He got a quarterback now. They're going to show out. Him and Kyle Pitt going to show out. Pay attention now.
Yeah. Penix ain't no joke.
No, he's a QB who played a pro-style offense at Washington as well, so he's ready to go.
And Miss Witt, what you got on that?
I'm excited. I mean, Drake did some hell of a catches last year between Kurt and Mike Penix. So I'm excited to see, and I'm happy they did go ahead and lock him in. I do agree that they need to go ahead and get that contract done.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm excited to see how this year is going to be. He was fired up coming off of last year. I believe this offense is going to be fucking high powered. It's going to be high powered.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love the type of personality he is. He got that dog in him. Like, he may look like pretty boy and everything else, but Drake London got that damn dog in him. And he got fined twice last year. He got that dog.
That's what's up. Yes.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, I'm excited for I'm gonna look it up. B. John said some nice words about him.
He
too.
did.
Find what he said. But I'm gonna let Blackberry, you come on and let us know how you feeling about this.
Oh, the 50 option, it better suits the better help. It helps out the franchise. It helps the team. Because it rather than having to give him a second contract deal after going into that fourth season, now they can hold off a little while and not necessarily make him prove it that he's worth a max contract or setting the market or whatever the case is, but to make sure that that it's in the best interest of the team to move forward with him with a second contract after that fourth year. So, after that fifth year, I mean, so it benefits him as well, but it's more beneficial to the team. So I knew they was going to do it. It's just now that time has come to really start putting these things in place for the money. So seeing it coming.
Yep.
So I found this what was being said about him. It said, "Damn, that fifth year said D. Coleman. They better get Drake his real money ASAP before it gets used." Kind of similar to what Big Will was saying. What's up, Real? How's the weather over there? Brian People said. And I'm gonna give y'all.
It's actually warm for a change. We got a little bit of sun, which is rare, because if you've ever seen Scotland on TV over there, it's perennially grey. I'm just going to pop down to the chat as well. I want to see Will and a bunch of Scottish dudes pissed fresh off an L. That's prime time television. Thank you very much.
That's gonna be. You know what?
Yeah, it's gonna be funny. I'm looking forward to it.
Yes.
Hopefully, there's not too many losses this season. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, we don't lose. But if we do, let's come out and play. Yeah.
Sunday game, and y'all just hear "fuck bloody hell," all that kind of stuff going on. Like, you know what? Oh, they pissed off over there.
Yeah, that's going to come with an instant PG-13 rating. I'm just going to warn you now.
Oh yeah,
hey, I want to make a comment on D. Coleman. What D. Coleman said about the making sure you pay Drake, going to forget the fifth year option thing. My thing is this, y'all. If we want to have a cycle of being able to be competitive, but also being able to make sure you can pay all the pieces on the board respectfully when that time comes. And when I say respectfully, I mean it has to be it has to be team friendly. Now, if Drake not concerned with being the highest paid receiver in the league, then kudos. I'll take that. We want that. If anybody, Bijan, if Bergeron, when his time comes, if he's not concerned with being
Tyler this year,
the highest paid, but what I'm referring to the positions and setting the market. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If our top guys are not concerned with being the highest paid at their positions, if they're not concerned with that, then that's perfectly fine with that statement that D. Coleman made, because give him his contract, he take a team-friendly deal, we good. But if it's agent driven, then we already know. If he like, well, my agent handles that, then we already know what he gonna be going for, because agents want the max. They going for the gusto. So I'm all for paying dudes, but like I said, I don't care what you pay folks, just make it work. Go win with what you're doing. But when we talking about people getting paid and it being team friendly and setting the market and all that, as long as we got a system in place and you fall within that system as far as what you get paid, then I'm all for it. But if you talking about max money and all that, I don't care, because I don't care if you want to go shop, if you want to go out there on the market and see if you can get a better deal, because in my opinion, we can rinse and repeat the same cycle that we started with you at 3 years later down the road. And we can still be competitive. So that's what that's how I look at it.
Right.
Yeah. I was just going to say, we don't want to end up being another Cincinnati here. They're wrecking their entire cap to pay for the guys.
So how talented is the Atlanta Falcons team?
That's what I was just about to say. That's why it's smarter to pay him now. Before he realized he wanted the top wide receivers in the game. Put that
that's a good thing that they picked up the 5th-year option, so they can work on that negotiation for his contract.
And let me go ahead and get into what was said basically about him. So Bijan just basically was like, let's go. You know, he's excited for his brother, man. That's that, you know, that's his right-hand man right there. So, and then the team basically was saying that, you know how we feel about Drake. He's a stud on the field, Falcons general manager Terry said during the NFL draft. He's everything we're about, just like we're just talking about being obsessed with the game. Obviously, he's a good man off the field, but he blacks out when it's time to play and when it's time to compete. And he will do anything he can to rip your face off and win the game. That's who he is, and that's what
he's a competitor. He's gonna fight for those yards, and he's gonna get in them DB's face and gonna say, "Yeah, I'm bad enough. How about that?" You know, I mean, he's that dude.
Yeah,
you know. Yeah. I got a quick question. Good vibes. I'm curious to see what team he support. You know, because it leads me to think he's a Saint fan.
He's a Saints fan. He's being a troll.
That's what I thought. For him to say, give Kirk Cousins to the Saints. Yeah. So that answered my question.
They don't sound well. I mean,
well, they need them right now.
Yeah, because they're
couldn't do any worse.
They're a little desperate.
They are.
Church, you know,
they're not happy. They're not happy over there.
Yeah, and he's not happy.
Yeah,
you know? Exactly. So he did a catfish Kirk moment.
So we're going to be great.
Derek Carr, he was at some church and he just let all his feelings out.
We are going.
He said how he was injured and you know, nope. He just went all the way in. I was like, ooh, this seems familiar, you know.
Ooh.
So
running back Nate.
Going to be interesting.
State will be Michael Turner 2.0.
Well, Falcons will trade out here. Okay. Is that fighting words for Big Wheel Algier? No, or was that Black? There was somebody that don't like the head trading Algier. What do you think about that?
He said he's not a Saint fan, y'all.
Okay.
Well, what fan base do you support? I'm curious. It's definitely not the Falcons.
We're trying to trade Algier. Who said it?
Good vibes.
Because it's definitely not the Falcons.
If that's false,
you asking us to trade him to our enemy. But now, if the price is right, we're gonna take all they got, and they don't got no money right now. So he definitely won't be going to no Saints.
It was what I said to you all. It was what I said to you guys in the chat as well. I mean, if we get an offer that's amazing, I've seen some people saying if we can ship Tyler out. I mean, we've still got Nick Chubb sitting in free agency. I know he's coming off of a broken foot, but I've seen the footage of him power cleaning 460. The man's still a beast, but I ain't letting Tyler go unless you're giving me ample picks in return for that.
Okay. I like what D. Coleman said. Rip up that 5th year. Give him around $25 million per now, or let him play it out, and you might be looking at $32 million, $35 later. Drake earned that big piece of chicken.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let him go then. Listen, man. We can't talk about not wanting to be married to players, but then want to make sure that, well, when they ask for big money, then we still got to make sure we keep them. We ain't got to make sure we keep them. I hate to tell y'all this. Drake London, love him to death. But it's going to be another Drake London. It's going to be another Tyler Algier.
Yeah.
It's going to be more of them. You got to have your core. If the core of your defense is in place, then you not defense, I'm sorry, but the core of your team, if the core of your team is in place, then you can lose a receiver, you can lose a running back. You can. You just have to understand that the scouting and the recruiting process has to be on point. And from what I seen out of Terry Fontenot, I believe in the scouting and the recruiting process.
Me too.
Yeah.
But for right now, Blackberry, let me ask you this: because of the financial situation we in, I mean, could we? How easy would it be for us to find it? We didn't have the picks, you know. You still, even for free agents, you got to have some money. So, would it be possible to even find his caliber of replacement?
You sure will, because there's something called the draft. It's something called the draft.
Look, man, look. You
But
can't lose that
I can
talent.
make an argument because there's somebody
wait.
on the undrafted free agent that we pick up that is his height and all that.
Okay.
Well, Nick Nash, as you say, Triple Crown winner on the UDFA tracker. So we pick that kid up, and if Drake is wanting that crazy money, I think Nick Nash is. I don't know if he's wide receiver 1, but he's got the size, he's got the skill set. So I mean, he can compete. He's a hell of a kid.
I hear everything Blackberry saying. You can lose that talent, but why should you? Why do we have to be the only team that lose all our talent and got to rebuild
But we
all the
not
time?
though. We not the only team.
It's plenty of teams sign their own players back. It's plenty of them. You can sign your own player back without breaking the bank.
Let me ask you this. Over the last 5 championships, over the last 5 Super Bowls, give me the number 1 receivers on them teams.
No, I was just simply asking.
Asking.
Could we possibly, with the money that we currently have, and we only had a few picks, could we really afford to lose him right now or any other player?
No, but it's not right now.
I ain't saying that.
But it's not right now.
Right. That's
that's the thing. It's not right now. It's some year. It's a couple years down the road, right? See, this is why I said this on one of my shows. I said a while back, if we gonna rinse and repeat our scouting and recruiting process, then it don't matter how much you pay somebody. Even if you overpay somebody, it don't matter. As long as your scouting and recruiting is on point. And the reason why I say that is because and this is why I said when I was doing the mock drafts and I did the 2027 and I was trading away future picks, and people was like, Blackberry, why are you doing that? You ruining our future. Ain't nobody spending that now that we done gave up a 2026 first round pick, just like I predicted we would do. Yeah. But see, the thing is you can't look further than 2027 anyway.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You can't look further than that year anyway.
Right.
It just doesn't physically and financially make sense to look further than 2027 when it comes to your personnel. Now, when you talking infrastructure, you can look 10 years into the future. But when we talking personnel, then we don't look past 2 years down the road. What's up with you? 27114.
All it come down to is managing your books, bro. That's what it come down to. Who managed the book the best? Because Pittsburgh, Baltimore keep their players forever.
Yes, they do.
So you can't tell me they don't sign. I've seen them sign plenty of players back, bro. It's about managing your books, man. Somebody asks for too much money, I'm all fine for goddamn trading their ass up out of here. But if they got willing to pay ball, bro, you got a responsibility of signing your own. That's how you keep free agents here. That's how free agents want to come to you. If you willing to sign your own, okay, yeah, come on, man. We can't throw away everybody, goddamn. We're gonna throw away every damn body and restart
Yeah,
every
but
year.
Will, what we talking about though? We not talking about not signing them. We talking about setting the market with the respective positions. You can't give Drake a max, and then when it's time to pay Bijan, you giving him a max, and then when it's time to pay your guard, your left guard, you giving him the max. See, like you just said, it's about handling your books. It ain't that you
It's
not
about
that you
managing your
don't want to
books, bro.
sign them.
You
It
ain't
ain't
gotta give
that you don't
everybody a
want to
max.
sign them. But that's the point. It ain't about not signing them. It's about whether or not they gonna take a contract that's team friendly or not.
See,
If you
ain't
even if
nobody
you
going
pay,
for that team friendly shit. Now, if you give them a
but this
respectable
the thing.
contract, you got to give them a Blackberry. You got to give them a
You
respectable
keep saying
contract.
it ain't
You
about
ain't got
team
to pay,
friendly. What the hell
bro.
you
You
mean
ain't
it
got
ain't
to
about
pay.
team
You ain't
friendly?
got to pay. You ain't got to pay them max
Here we go.
contract.
Here we
You
go.
got to pay them
What are
what
you
they're
talking
worth.
about?
You got to
So
pay
you
them what
trying to
they
say,
worth.
if everybody come at the team saying, we want, man, I want to set the market.
Everybody, bro,
Whatever
everybody ain't gonna
whatever
come to
the
them with
top
no.
guy getting paid right now, I
How
should get
long the
paid
Falcons
more than
been
him.
in?
I'm
How long
setting
the
the
Falcons
market.
been in goddamn existence, bro? Everybody ain't gonna come with a goddamn max contract. Come on, bro. Let's talk realistic.
And on that note,
Everybody ain't coming
We
asking
talking
for a max
realistic.
contract,
That's the
bro.
point.
we finna move on because
That's the point.
a whole it's gonna be a whole
Handbags at
long
dawn.
battle. So
Oh,
Maggie gonna intervene, and we're gonna move
yeah,
on to the next topic, y'all, because this gonna
yeah.
get heated. This gonna get heated. I wanted to say a shout out to. Let me go back to this tweet. Shout out because I put this on Matt Mike Sports Twitter because for some reason AFN haven't been able to go live on X. So shout out to some of the folks that's watching over there. Y'all come on over to Atlanta Falcons Nation.
Yes.
Come on over here.
Watch
That's why
Yeah,
y'all need
full
to
of
get
love.
Blackberry numbers back up so you bring that Rex pick up.
You got Will the Thrill, you got Pam, you got Christy, you got the Ladybirds of AFN. If you haven't checked this out yet, you know, we're broadcasting to a new audience that might not know who we are, but I'm Maggie T. We're going to kind of do a little introduction again. I'm Maggie T, your host of the Ladybirds of AFN. If it's your first time tuning in to us, thank you for tuning in. But come on over to the channel and subscribe. Show some love to everybody on this panel. At the end of the show, we'll make sure that you guys be able to find them. So let's go ahead and get into the next conversation, though. But I love how y'all get heated, though. It's time to get into some draft pick conversation. You know, y'all spoke it on your channel, but the Ladybirds ain't had a chance.
Yes.
I might want to say something real quick. We'll make it brief. Then we'll get into the draft pick situation. Since we got 101 eyes on here.
Yes.
Anybody that knows me knows I've been following this lady right here.
Oh yeah.
Since the Super Bowl debacle that she, you know, ruined for a lot of our Falcons fans that were supposed to be traveling to the Super Bowl. I think this was the London game, I want to say, or whatever game it was.
It was the Super Bowl that we went to in Texas.
There you go. So she's at it again. Folks, people just ain't learned their lesson about this lady scamming and scheming. But the fake bird lady, self-named Atlanta Falcons super fan, pleads not guilty to theft charge. Carolyn Freeman is accused of stealing almost $15,000 from a Kansas City Chiefs fan club. We're gonna make it short and brief. So she's basically gonna prolong it, and I think she has a July date set for trial. She's guilty, but she's saying she's not guilty. And I think the Anastasia, who's over there at Atlanta News First, actually reached out to her, and she went on and investigated and broke the news and everything. She's been heavy behind this. Shout out to her. I started my petition to kind of get her banned from the stadium. I think that's a go. She's no longer going to be allowed in Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Oh no.
Put it on blast because some people over the time haven't really put it out there that they've been scammed. They just took the money and, you know, lost and just kept it moving. But this organization was like, nah, she's messing with the wrong people right now. We want some action. You know, you're gonna stop scamming these folks out of their hard-earned money. And if people don't know what happened, there was a game, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Falcons game here at the stadium, where she promised them a tailgate filled with entertainment, special guests, food, tickets to the concession stand to get something to eat, things like that. And they showed up to an empty field, and she had a slur of all kinds of. She got in the hospital. She was ill. Her trailer broke down, or some mess she was talking about that she couldn't be there. Made up a whole entire damn story. It's like, if you, Bird Lady, have this thing going, even if you got sick, you have your backups, people. They kind of, okay, she's in the hospital, but the show must go on. Let me go ahead and get my cousin and them. They're going to make sure everything gets done. We're going to communicate with you, because if you planned it correctly, you got you. And even had the vendors pulling up like, where's our money and everything. So terrible. So that's all I want to say on that. I want to bring that to light, that in case some people wanted to hear an update, because I haven't had a chance to update the petition. But Miss Carolyn Freeman has been, she said she's not guilty of people. So what do y'all think about that? Then we'll get into the draft picks.
That's not a super
Is it possible this is all a misunderstanding?
No, it's not.
No,
I'm a witness.
No,
it's
sir.
not possible.
No, sir.
It was a contracted situation. I'm actually in the background speaking to the individuals a part of this lawsuit. So I got the official documents of the evidence of what happened and what took place. This is beyond a misunderstanding. It was a contracted situation where you are obliged to, produce what you said you were going to produce.
Well, I just felt like it was a necessary question to ask, because I mean, how could she possibly be dumb enough to think that at some point the scam can't continue? You in the same city, you in the same areas, you got the same contacts. How in the world could you not possibly think
because people
that at some point the jig gonna be up?
People sweeping it under the bus like, oh well, that was just $100 out of my pocket. I ain't gonna say anything else.
The out of state.
You figure they weren't gonna say nothing about it. That's what it was.
And you do it to people out of state,
that don't know you.
That don't know you.
Because it was Seahawks fans affected. It was them, amongst some others. So she was starting to target other people outside the Falcons organization, because she had a billboard in the stadium, so she can say, "Oh yeah, I am that real deal. So trust in me." And it's like, okay, well, yeah, you are, because she was. You know how people, let's say me. I've had former football players on this channel, but that's me leading the conversation to go to somebody's channel and say, yeah. Oh yeah, I got all kinds of people on my dime, and I done did all this, and that don't mean absolutely nothing if I'm being fraudulent. Everything is, I can say who I had on my channel and all that, but does that make me a good person? It's it's what it's called, showboating and things like that. And I used to have this going on, and I used to be this person back in 1996. The Falcons, Jamal Anderson said that. Okay. But when I look on search in Carolyn Freeman, I'm looking at terrible news. So you can live in your heyday, but it was time for her to get caught. What's up, Falcons? Rise up. Good vibes. Let's see what we got here. And then we're going to move on from it. Ladybirds featuring Big Will and Blackberry. And Big Will, you can't forget the Big Will. Bijan, let me just go back down. Okay. Bird Lady was way too visible to be doing what she was doing. She got to go down. Kansas City Chiefs, Chief of Hollywood, worst. Yes. The Bird Lady.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like you this much in the public. You attending games, you attending events. People, you got too many people that know the difference between you and the real Bird Lady.
Yes.
And you using the same resources every time.
Some people
don't.
People were getting her Keisha confused. They was coming up to her like, you a fraud.
My family didn't. Me and my family didn't know, and when we always come to Atlanta, I mean, even before all of this, we always come every 4 years. There's at least a Pittsburgh Steelers Atlanta game, and because I'm the only Falcons fan, my entire family are either Saints or Steelers fan. We come to Atlanta to that game, and that's how we got catfished into my family because of my grandmother's birthday, and she was a missionary. We do goodie bags, like family household bundle bags for Thanksgiving and Christmas. So she saw that online and she befriended us on Facebook. And so when we came to that game, I got pictures. When we came to that game, we bought 25 of those household bundles, and she came and picked them up. So, but when I got to the stadium and met up with her, there was like 10 or 15 other women that were also there. And I don't know, she wanted to get a picture with everybody, but I don't know why they were there, or was it sort of like the same thing? And so it wasn't until this started coming out and Maggie had showed me she is not the real bird lady that, you know, we started learning about it. And even my friend who was a Steelers fan, we was like, oh my God, you know, because we didn't know. And I have pictures of how we met her, and she took pictures with the family and the baskets, and she took them. And after then, she was supposed to contact us and let us know, you know, she was going to send us pictures and a thank you card. We never got it.
None of that.
We never got it.
We should thank you as well.
People.
We should thank you too for having the bravery to share. If you have been affected, I think you should reach out and speak to someone, because we need to know the length and breadth and extent of her transgressions, because she has to be punished accordingly. It's gone on too long, and this is a family here in Atlanta. I'd like to think that although I'm on the other side of the world, I'm still part of that family, and I would conduct myself in a way that's according to that. If you can't do that, then we don't want you part of this community.
And I'm gonna add this before we move on in a moment. So we do have I have a connection with the guy of Sports Illustrated. Is Sports Illustrated? ESPN, excuse me, ESPN. He's actually looking for more people. I've been trying to put it on the petition. If you want to speak, you can be anonymously. Email me at Maggietproductions at gmail.com if you have a story about it. We're trying to bring more awareness to this situation. We need more people that have been affected, not necessarily Chiefs fans, but if you're a Falcons fan, still, you know, Seahawks fan, etc. Reach out to me so we can get you connected to Anastasia at Atlanta News First and ESPN, because he's been trying to get a new story of more people to speak to. He just did one with the ladies from the Kansas City Chiefs and Seahawks fans. Good article. And he's doing his due diligence and his research. So it's out there. We might not have been talking about it, but there's some big things happening. So if you want to the more we talk about it, the better, that we can avoid this to happen to fans ever again. It will make you start questioning these people. Even when we say, hey, donation and all that kind of stuff, we truly do give back to the Educators Fund and Education Fund. We can say, we can, you know, talk some big shit and be like, oh yeah, we got all this going on. No, even if you don't even donate, just watching is a contribution to Atlanta Falcons Nation, and we're happy about that. So just check your sources when it comes to these charities as asking for things and everything else. But Chris, you had something to say. Then we're gonna move on to the draft picks.
Oh no, it was just that, you know, I think it's just more people out there, and you just don't,
they're just afraid,
and you just,
they're just
doing
not afraid
a good
to come
thing,
out.
or they just want to say, you know, just don't not worry about it. But I'm glad that it's coming to light, because when fans come out of town, when you travel out of town and you're expecting something like a tailgate, that's a big deal. You plan for that. You save up your money for that. The tickets is one thing, and hotels is something else, and then you travel back and forth, and any other incidentals, that's something else. But then when you want to have the experience of something, that's a lot for us. And Miss Pam knows, because she travels a lot.
Oh yeah.
But when I'm a Falcon fan in Mississippi, So I have to travel to everything that's Falcon related, and that's money. And like right now on the 14th come up, I'm booking my rooms that day because otherwise they flip prices.
Yeah.
So
oh yeah.
We start planning early. We're thinking ahead early. You are about
you have
know
to
how
calculate
much stuff costs,
your
and then
steps.
there's inflation. So you never expect for somebody to take advantage of you.
Yeah.
But in this manner, especially somebody that's in the limelight like that.
Well, if the Falcons, I hope the Falcons look into this too and make sure something get done because it's a bad look on the city.
Yes,
for
they already
tourists when
removed
they
her
coming into
billboard
town.
from the bins, so they done that part. But and then they probably banned her from the bins, I'm thinking. But for Falcons fan that wants to travel, we do have a traveling Falcon
Rise
group,
Up tour.
Rise Up tour.
Very legitimate.
If y'all want to look into it.
Yep. I've been on the Rise Up tour bus. I've met the original, the creator of that. All of them over there. It's a very professional organization. What they do is they plan things in the city that you can go to.
Yeah.
That's actually legitimately having, and they have the team, the team backing them. So you might see some former players, you might see some, cheerleaders and Freddie Falcon. So it's legitimate. So
we also had a cruise. We also did a cruise ship last year, and they're doing one this year.
Yeah, and they're doing one this year, even though that thing's expensive as heck. I'll go. My coins don't look good enough to be on that cruise, but if you're going on a cruise, shout out to you and everything. But let's go ahead and talk about. We're gonna go by pick, and then y'all just go ahead and give us. So the Ladybirds didn't give her opinions about these picks because me and Miss Pam was in the stadium over there just losing out, losing it. Like, whoa, UGA.
When they announced
pick Edge, Jalen Walker.
And that whole stadium erupted when they announced Jalen Walker for that first pick. I mean, you didn't hear lots of crowd. I mean, they were really, really happy, and we were surprised that he actually fell into that position.
Absolutely.
So
I deleted those pictures. Oh man, I'm mad at myself. So I had some pictures of us after stadium for those that didn't see. I'm gonna put them back in there.
Yeah.
But I was happy. I think the fans, the reaction. They were saying Jalen right at the 14th pick.
They did.
It was just it better be Jalen. It better, it was all
Jalen.
We rioted and
then the thing about it, they waited till the clock run down before they announced it. For that, they let the clock run down.
Yeah.
To the suspension.
Yeah, because they told everybody to kind of move to the front of the stage and everything. I guess they wanted everybody to crowd around, and they was gonna try to get a shot, I guess, of some of the people that were actually out there live, and then us. And it was just like everybody was. It seemed like that countdown was taking forever. It was
taking forever.
The anticipation is killing me. Make your decision.
You didn't know whether they're gonna trade the pick or whatever. I'm like, what's going on, y'all? And they ran it till 0.
And then as soon as you heard, it was like, and the 15th pick, the Atlanta Falcons went to. All you heard was, they didn't even get the whole. It was just, oh my God, what's happening here? So it was like fireworks and.
Yeah,
confetti, folks love it and hug it, and we over there, woo, UGA. Now that was the highlight.
Yes,
UGA right after that. We finally got our dog, y'all. So that's just how that's the play-by-play of actually being there at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Shout out to the ones that actually went out there live. Y'all the real deal MVPs, because I couldn't imagine standing up that whole entire time watching this draft. I couldn't do it.
I couldn't either.
Big Will, give us your, your opinion about this first round pick.
Oh yeah, man. When we made that pick, I was shocked because I'm just sitting there waiting. We were hoping defense like we always do.
Uh-oh. Did we lose Will?
Will?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
And now you are. Well, we'll go with BlackBerry so you can get your sound together. But go ahead, BlackBerry, your thoughts. I mean, of course, I know I already heard what you had to say, but you can go ahead and reiterate how you felt about them picking Jalen Walker.
Oh, you think you know how? You think I heard
I heard it. I watched BlackBerry.
Mic check.
We got you. We hear you.
Yeah, we hear you now. We hear you now.
Go ahead, BlackBerry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, well, they're gonna let me go. Then you go after me. So, we got us one.
Yeah,
we got us one. We got us a couple. We got us a few. We got us a handful. We got a lot, but we just talking about Jalen Walker right now. So I believe that we have not had a perennial linebacker at the caliber of Jalen Walker since maybe Jesse Tucker. That's how good I think this dude can be per a healthy career. I really believe Jalen Walker has the potential to go down as one of the best Atlanta Falcons to play for the Falcons in the 60 years of our affectionate. I like everything about the dude. He's listed as an edge, but he's a straight up linebacker. And when I say straight up linebacker, a linebacker to me, because I'm a linebacker myself, a linebacker to me is somebody that exudes that of what a linebacker is. They breathe fire. They eat rocks. And all they want to do is step up at that line of scrimmage and knock somebody block off. That's all they want to do. They don't care about nothing else that's going on around them. Somebody finna get laid out. Jalen Walker's that dude, because Jalen Walker's when you listen to him talk, oh my good, he sound like he a part of the men of distinction the Men of Distinction Society. He carries himself well. He speaks well. He doesn't have to think much about what he got to say. But when he put that helmet on, he turned into a completely different being. It's the most perfect linebacker situation we can have right now with Jalen Walker as our newest number one recruit, because he's going to be diabolically ferocious. He's going to be, and I'm gonna steal this from like I did the other day. I'm gonna steal this from Vince McMahon and John Cena. He's going to show you ruthless aggression. That's what he's gonna show you. And it don't matter where he at on the edge, or whether he playing middle, or whether he playing weak. Wherever he at, he's going to show you ruthless aggression. I can't wait. I'm excited.
I can't wait either.
Very Big Will, you back with us now? I know you was getting ready to go in.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Go ahead and let us know.
Like I said, we was hoping defense like we do every year, but they actually did it. It really got me. You know what I'm saying? And to be a Georgia boy. Then we jumped up again in the first round. I thought we was going to get Malachi Stark. That just would have been a perfect match. That would have been perfect.
Yeah, me too. I thought
so. But I take Pierce, whatever, because we got that safety. We did get a safety spot that played somebody who plays like Malachi Stark. So, but he hit a little harder. So I go with that. You know what I'm saying? I can vibe with that. So I was excited about this draft. We had 5 picks and we hit on all 5 of them.
Yes.
So you know what I mean. So I ain't got nothing bad to say about the draft. I'm just ready. It just made me ready for the season. Quick. You know, I'm just ready to go.
Oh yeah.
So Yeah, man, I enjoyed it.
Okay, well, we're gonna go down to draft picks. So we just talking about Jalen right now. So Miss Christie, go ahead and your thoughts on. Haven't heard your opinions on it yet.
I didn't go to bed until about 4 a.m. and then I had to get up at 6 for work because I was hopping from content creator to content creator.
Yes, she was.
I've been winding up.
3 shows going on simultaneously right under the Atlanta Falcons Nation umbrella.
Let me tell you what happened. My daughter came in, and I have 2 laptops, a tablet, an Echo in the kitchen, the TV in the back bedroom. So even during football season, I think if any parent out there of adult children, you want to get rid of your kids, just turn everything in your house to any Atlanta Falcons content creator and turn it up. So anywhere you turn, she just walked in. She came down the hall. She looked at me and she just turned around and walked out. And she was like, "This is ridiculous," and walked out. So
especially if they hear my dulcet tones, that's over.
Coming to get food, just it's perfect. It's perfect. It's perfect. But that I was so excited with because if you listen to anyone that talked about their draft picks, like Miss Pam, and just a lot of the conversations, it just felt really good just to just again see the changes that we're making postseason. This is the second off season that we've had that's been sort of, a little bit on the exciting side. So this one though beats last year. Yeah, it beats the excitement. Not just about Michael Penix, because really once we picked him, we was like, oh, okay, we understand, but we didn't know that how the season would go. But this right here, and then to hear the DC kept one of the things he had this motto for this year. It was something related to being mental, effective, and he said fist. Like he wants to see more like aggression. How different in his interview. If y'all haven't seen it, go back to his interview from like January or February, where somebody interviewed him and they asked him what was the difference between the first time he was here and now. And he talked about being responsive to how an offense change on the field and being able to respond to that. And so what the Falcons admins kept saying was versatility. And so you saw when they announced who the players were, then you were like, oh, okay. So they're making moves the way that they said that they would, and the way that a lot of fans were hoping for. Yeah. And so, I'm still hyped up about, waiting on May 14th, because you want to know which way you traveling, which way you going.
Exactly.
Can we go to training camp? Everybody is excited. Yes. So, yes. I'm pretty excited about all of our picks.
So who moving things around? Somebody check their cell. Somebody muted me and everything. But who got something going on?
I don't know what's going on. My finger's too big over here. Maybe take a press something. I had to move away from the phone.
Because it just muted me. It took some stuff off the screen.
Yeah, I set my phone down. I set it down.
Okay, watch them big old hands, big Bill.
I ain't used to having this much power as a guest. I'm sorry.
Wow.
That's right. So I just wanted to say to head on over to Atlanta Falcons Nation. If you watch it on X, if you watch it on Facebook, come over here and give the Ladybirds of AFN some love with a subscribe. I know this is probably the first time a lot of y'all have been seeing the Ladybirds. This is the Ladybirds of AFN. It was me. We've been existing for about a year now, and we do actually have a larger panel. We got Wick, Jay, we got Christy, we got Asia when she can come. We have, of course, Miss Pam. We have Breon. And so we're trying to get Kiara to come on the show sometime, but I know she just been kind of just going through it. So, but we have a lady panel. This is the first official Atlanta Falcons lady panel of just women that love to talk about their Falcons, that are knowledgeable. So just, if you're liking the conversation you're having here, of course, we got our favorite guys to join us because they just couldn't get enough of the Ladybirds. But you're going to hear it from a lady's perspective of how we feel about this team going into the season. And we are extremely excited about that. But Will, the thrill. Go ahead and give us your piece about Jalen Walker.
Okie doke. Well, this is where a lot of you are going to go off me if this is your first time seeing me, because I'm not a University of Georgia fan. I'm going to throw up one of these.
Oh, whatever.
As such, I'm a realist. I ain't going to tell you that Kelvin Banks didn't get eaten alive the 2 times that Texas played Georgia last year. So, and now he's a Saint. So, just adding that in for consideration. But no, he's so quick. He pursues with so much anger and aggression. As I say, Blackberry was speaking coming from a linebacker perspective. I'm a 6 foot tall, 190-pound receiver. That's not the man I want to meet in a gap by no stretch of the imagination.
Okay. I love it. Short and sweet. Let me see what some of the chat is saying. We're gonna go back to Scotty. He said, I really thought Atlanta Falcons were going to miss their pick when they barely got their pick in. And then Southside, Ricky, he said, man, I work in school sometimes, and I walk out my office and leave information on the screen. So you're going back into that situation with the draft. My workers don't touch shit. This is Jeff's idiot son. Jeff had nothing to do with it. So he just kind of coming in. I know. So if you guys are just now getting here, Lee Bowles, I saw that you said you're late to the party. That's okay. Y'all not used to us being on Wednesday night as well.
Yeah, we surprised y'all.
You're not used to us being on X either. So I just wanted to kind of broadcast to a new audience so y'all can kind of be introduced, and y'all come on over here and show us some love over at Atlanta Falcons Nation. But I missed how the show. That's okay. I prayed for a draft like this. A defensive draft prayers changes things.
I agree.
Scotty said Jalen Walker really reminds me of Michael Parsons.
That's his
can see that.
His son said it was me making all the blue ball in the background. Southside again said, happy we picked up the option on Drake too. So he's really catching up. That boy is dog. He's one of the players on the team. I wanted a bar fight with me. They need his extension done with the quickness. Hey, what's up? Engine number 9. What's up, Ladybirds AFN? Awesome show tonight. I was one of them watching on X. Much love to y'all. And I'm glad you came on over to YouTube. That's all we're doing. We just want you to come on over here and recognize who we are, and that we are here. But we normally come on Tuesdays. But I think we're going to do another Wednesday show because, Pam, you said you have
my brother's coming in town, and we're going to the AA of Atlanta game that day. So Wednesday will be good for me.
Because I know Pam liked to have a conversation. I could do the show on Tuesday, but it's no show without Pam and Chris. So gotta have Miss Aunt T. You listening at work? Thank you, Brian Peoples.
Thank you, Brian Peoples.
So let's get into the next draft pick. We got all night because we don't have heavy hitters. So y'all here to have a conversation today.
Yes.
The next pick.
Let's do some real talk.
The Falcons select pick 26. We double dipped back into the first round.
Yes.
And got our edge, James Pierce Jr. Congratulations. Welcome to the Atlanta Falcons. And I was too excited. I was like, what?
We were in the parking lot.
Right. We left.
We almost left. We stayed in the parking lot to listen.
We was like, hold on, wait a minute. Like, we literally pulled out the parking lot. It was like the Falcons are on the clock again. Like, ain't this about a what? We were tired.
Oh my God.
We didn't think we were gonna do anything else, but the Falcons proved us wrong. They did it because they said they had to get aggressive. They wanted to come after their edge. So they were addressing a need here. So go ahead, Miss Pam, your thoughts on, of course, you already know how I feel. I'm excited about it. I'm happy about it. Great pick. Happy. What about
that's their guy they were gonna pick at number 15 because Jalen dropped to number 15. They couldn't pass on Jalen, so they had to get him. So what they did, they waited and traded back in to get their guy because Pierce was their guy all along at 15. They were gonna pick him all along because they figured Jalen was gonna be gone, and he's the second best edge rusher. So when we had an opportunity to get another edge and and they actually traded up, I was excited about that because I said, oh, that was their guy at number 15 anyway, and the idea that they traded up to go back and get him, that was just the icing on the cake right there.
Okay. Absolutely. And Big Will, go ahead and tell us how you feel. Again.
You said Will the Thrill?
No, I said Big Will. You Big Will, he's Three.
Hey man, well, I already told you I was surprised when they jumped up there and got him, so I ain't expecting them to get him. I already had my mind set on Malachi Starks. I thought, I'm like, oh, when I heard, I'm like, oh, let's go get started. But after watching some, only thing bad was coming out with him, they saying like he was hard to coach. But they were saying after hearing interviews and stuff, it was like the Falcons did their job interviewing them and did extensive research on them. So I believe they feel they can work with them. So I just sit here and just be patient and see what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Blackberry, go ahead and let us know how you're feeling about this pick. Or did you see somebody else being picked right there?
Yeah, I wanted I was hoping they was going get a defensive tackle. I think the guys I wanted was already gone though. By the time 26 came, yeah, I want to say, Grant was gone, Harmon was gone. Yeah, they was gone already. So I really didn't have no preference at what they was about to do. I'm glad they did go. They did double up on him. Because the short-sighted analysts, so-called professional analysts out there on all these networks, they can be short-sighted about it and just look at the edge that's next to their names. Mm-hmm. But for those of us that actually know not to be short-sighted about it and go do extensive homework on these guys, we know that James Pierce Jr., just like Jalen Walker, is a straight-up linebacker. He just listed at edge, but he can play anywhere within a linebacker concept. And it don't matter about the scheme. It don't matter about the defense. It don't matter. He's a straight up linebacker. So he's gonna play the same role, so to speak, that Jalen Walker's gonna play. Probably just not from a leadership position, but he's gonna be exactly the same type of linebacker that Jalen gonna be.
Yeah.
Okay. And Big Will. Excuse me, Will the Thrill. Let us know how you feel.
JPJ was my guy coming into the draft. I thought we were going to take him at number 15. To be honest, me and Mike and Noah were like, do we start winding down for the night? And then all of a sudden Noah just goes, wait, stop everything. We're back on the clock. And we were like, oh wait, hold on. but yeah, no, this, I don't know how if I can overstate this enough. His first step is so long and so quick. His pursuit level is insane, and from what I watched it side by side. His 40-yard dash time is about equivalent to AJ Brown's, and this man's 6'5", 245. That for me, probably one of the steals of the draft, getting him at 26. That was outstanding value for me, and I was very happy, especially with getting Jalen as well. This defensive front seven is going to be something tasty this year to come.
Okay, y'all don't mind me. I'm trying to get my son his medicine in the background, but Miss Christy, go ahead and your thoughts.
I was excited I was like you. Y'all probably in the. I think I was trying to get ready to take a shower and had to come back out of the bathroom. So
we're in the
Yeah,
fucking.
Miss Christie knows. We were done
what
for
I
the night.
thought of, I was like the number of times that Terry always pulled something out of the hat. I was just waiting on that moment. So it was one of those moments. So every time somebody says, get rid of Terry, get rid of Terry, this is one of the things that he does well. And so I'm very excited. It's going to be real interesting to see how our defense show up. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on. Far away, y'all. You know, us mamas got to multitask, so. Okay. All right. Got the sun squared away. But yeah, I agree, everybody. You know, just pretty much reiterating what y'all had to say. Y'all pretty much said what I felt. So let me see what the chat is saying. When Atlanta Falcons trading back up was gonna be you thought it was gonna be Green, Johnson, Starks, or Pierce. So you pretty much got a pick you thought that was gonna happen. It says engine number 9 said, I truly believe this could be our year, either winning the South or getting to the playoffs, or in the words of Fred G. Sanford, this might be the year of the big one. Coming for you. Oh, okay. And,
don't be afraid to say it. Don't be afraid to say it. That's what I talked about yesterday. Don't be afraid to say it. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of the word championship. Don't be afraid of the word dynasty. Don't be afraid of these words. See, we saw you. This is the 60th anniversary of the Falcons in 2025.
Yes, sir.
60 years of not winning a goddamn thing. Excuse my French, but 60 years of not winning shit. Don't be afraid to
we
go
went to
ahead
the
and
big
buy
dance
in.
and did not win a doggone thing.
We got invited to the dance, but we couldn't come out
2 times.
Bro,
So don't be
we Oscar
afraid
Mission
that
every year,
fans to
man. They got
buy
to show me
in.
now.
It's
They got to
fine.
show me.
Yeah.
They got to show me. I was Oscar Mission last year. I gave them the best record last year.
Missouri, you got to show him.
They got to show me. I've been in Missouri, exactly, Auntie Pam. They got to show me.
Show me the money.
They got to show you, but if you done your research, you done your homework, then you know what the staff capable of, you know what the personnel group capable of. If you believe it that they can put it all together, don't be afraid to say that you believe they can put it all together.
Hey, that's the point, Black Bear. We know what the staff capable of. He showed that last year. Chew gum on the sideline. That's what he capable of.
Well,
so they got to show me. They got to show me something.
Capri Pants ain't gonna be chewing gum on the side. He's gonna be serious about his job, and he's gonna know when to use his time out. Okay, y'all. He's learned his lesson, y'all. He learned his lesson. Okay.
Hey, he gonna have
the Piper the time you chew bubblegum's over. No, we came here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and we're running out of bubblegum. Let's do it now, man.
Exactly. So let's go ahead and get to the next draft pick. So the Falcons was just like, okay, we right in the first. We wanted to go get our man. Then guess what? This time around, it was round 3. The pick 32, 96, a safety, Xavier Watts.
They were surprised.
Table, Miss Pam, how did you feel about that one?
They were surprised that he was there because they didn't think he was on the board, for that round. They was shocked. So they went ahead and drafted him. I like him. I mean, that's that would be the 3rd best safety because Nicky Royal got drafted by Baltimore, and of course, I'm wrong. Mordecai Scotch, one of them got drafted by somebody. Those two got off the board, and he fell all the way down to 3. So that was a shocker. So I like that pick.
And the Falcons, things started happening in the Falcons' favor in this draft. And what you got on that, Big Wheel? And that's you, Big Wheel.
On the safety?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, this why I was a little bit more okay with that Pierce pick because they got him. He plays kind of like Malachi Starr. He's a ball hawk. He covers a lot of ground. He play good one-on-one. But he laid that boom, too. So I was glad when they got him. That was a vital piece that I thought we needed. We need that versatile player. Then, oh no, I'm gonna hold my tongue on it. But yeah, that's what I felt about that.
Okay, okay. And Blackberry.
You know, he was on my list. Xavier Watts was on my list of impact players in this draft, not just based off of position, but based off of their ability to impact the game, where they can make a game-changing play to turn the tide of the game for you defensively, to get the ball back to your offense, give you a chance to win. He was one of those guys on my list. So I kind of feel like the rest of the league pretty much served up a lot of our draft for us on the platter. Like, y'all want y'all chance to win? Here it is. Get everybody that Blackberry telling y'all to get. That's what it felt like. That's what it felt like watching.
They trade back in. The track gave up the draft pick. They did what you said.
They did everything that I said they was gonna do. They probably not in the exact fashion that I predicted it to be in, but just like that Tuesday before the draft, Terry said, you know, when they asked him about moving up, and he said, well, you know, when he mentioned he was a 75% aggressive GM, but he was also like, but it take two to tango. You know, you had to have a willing partner to trade with. So it's not to say that they didn't try to move up further. It's just about who was willing to work with the Falcons. Because from the sound of it, Terry had everybody. He had everybody on the hook with something. So, Xavier Watts was a damn good pick. I mean, it was the top three picks, y'all got experience playing at a high level, because they all played in the playoffs of NCAA football this past season. All three of them played in the playoffs, and we know Jalen Walker. We know his experience in the playoffs. So, hey man, it's Xavier Watts, standout addition to the team, man.
Thank you, Blackberry. I'm gonna get to these comments. Then we're gonna get to Will the Thriller, then Christy. Vanos, new name I haven't seen. Thank you for watching. I'm going to be interested to see how this defense works. Obrich, coming from the AFC, having to game plan against elite quarterbacks. Big Will, are you moving stuff around again? Hold on. Let me go back to that comment.
Go back.
The phone going back on the ground. My bad. Going back down.
Hold on.
Hold on to that thing, brother.
Wait a minute. Let me go back to. I'm trying to finish up his comment.
So,
we're pretty capable of getting. I was trying to say that hot take there. We're pretty capable of getting 12 wins, y'all. So Vanos is feeling hella confident. And shout out to 82 Monte Carlo. I think Oldbridge gonna hold them accountable, especially after the current events. All eyes gonna be on the defense more than ever after this draft. And Vanos said Monte Carlo. Scott Robinson said Xavier Watts is gonna learn a lot from the best safety in the league. Just did bait. So that we'll keep going. Let's go ahead. But Will the Thrill, your thoughts on that signing?
I like it a lot. He played to a crazy high level at ND. Obviously, he's one of those kids that can line up in multiple different packages, multiple different positions. He's a hell of a ball hawk. He got 13 career picks. As I say, he's got that pedigree for playing high-level football right into the postseason. So I don't think there was a single one of these first three picks where we went wrong. Plus, I think it's a little early to start making pro comps before they've seen a pro field. But from what I was reading, a lot of guys think he's similar to Jesse. So this is going to be an easier transition for him as well, because he's going to have the man himself playing right beside him. So I think this might be the smoothest fit of any of our draft picks, if I want to be 100% honest.
Okay. All right. And Miss Christie.
Yeah, and I think, just piggybacking on what he said and somebody else in the chat, didn't he also play receiver at one time?
If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure he was a high school receiver.
So
He was a receiver, yeah.
Right. So, again, looking at that versatility and knowing the different roles and partnering with Bates is going to be ideal. But what about Helms?
Ooh.
So you got him, Helms, and Bates.
Mm-hmm.
And
Not to mention Jordan Fuller.
That much.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So one of the things that, again, piggybacking on what the admins and the coaches were saying, making sure that you have not only enough players but responsive players, and I think he seals the deal with that secondary.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Scotty Robinson said Xavier Watts is a ball hawk and playmaker, 13 career interceptions with Notre Dame.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, yes.
And 82 Monte Carlos said, "Oh, Jerry, like help. I could even what help us is the forge. What help? What are you trying to say? What is that?
The forge.
The forge getting the weapons battle ready. Yes. Bowman Jr. can play safety and nickel.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and get into the next part of our draft pick. So we on that round 3. We made it happen. Everybody was happy with that pick as well. Then down to, you back. My baby back from work. You know what? We don't had a whole show and she went to work and everything. Now we got the 4th round pick. Pick 16 at 118. Another safety, Billy Bowman Jr. Someone said in the chat. Let me see this chat going. Okay.
They safety and nickel.
So Miss Pam, you're always first. How do you feel about that one? I like that pick.
I like that pick. When I saw my defensive coordinator beating the wall over about getting that pick, I said, okay, he's gonna be doing something this year. So I'm excited about it. He's another versatile player. He can play linebacker, play nickel. He's good. So I like him.
Okay. And Big Will.
Yeah, that was all that bread to me was like competition. When I seen that competition at the nickel spot, they gonna fight, boy. They brought the alphabet. He got his chip on his shoulder. He had that little bad game against Minnesota. He's gonna prove himself. It's gonna be a fight at that nickel spot.
My bad, Monte Carlo. I was like, I'm blind over here, so I'll be trying to read from a distance. I need to go
to Greek mythology.
Okay. Thank you for clearing that up. I was like, I'm trying to make this make sense, but appreciate you. As well as I guess we got Blackberry.
Yeah, once again, Billy Bowman Jr. Another guy on my list, impact player. How he once again, just like with Xavier Watts, it felt like the league was serving them up on a platter to the Falcons. Like, y'all want a chance to be great? Here you go. Draft somebody that Blackberry telling you to draft. That's what it felt like. That's what it felt like watching it. And I was like, man, okay, well, they didn't go get them. They didn't go get the big guys in the middle that I wanted, but they sure enough getting these impact players that's going to be flying to the ball that I wanted them to go get. So just like Big Will and everybody else done said, another guy that's versatile. Something that I'm sensing 317 packages. That's what I'm sensing. When you got this amount of talent at the defensive back position that's gonna be capable of that's helping in run defense, you can run a 317 on second down. and create a negative play in the process of it in the backfield with the amount of versatile acquisitions we getting in the slot position right now. So I'm excited, man. I can't wait to see what this turn into.
Right, and Will the Thrill.
I think it was another great pick, as I say. As we've all been saying, he's got the versatility to play more of a safety role or in that sort of nickel slot. He's not the biggest guy, 5'9", 192, but he likes to mix it up. You don't get to be the fire and ice without that will to come down and fight. I think he's a dog. I'm glad to have him and to fill up that safety room just that little bit more. As you guys have been saying, I feel like we've left ourselves enough options now where we can run multiple fronts, multiple DB packages. We can keep quarterbacks guessing. We can keep guys fresh, most importantly, as well. So you never quite know what personnel you're going to be facing. So I feel like it's still really early to tell, but I'm going crazy fantasy-wise. I'm not going to lie.
I bet. And Miss Christie, I know you're having some technical difficulties. Your thoughts on?
I think he'll be the one that they're gonna put in the nickel slot. That's one of the things that Jerry Gray had talked about, finding where he would be most comfortable at, and getting them in and seeing. But again, having that versatility of being able to switch players around. So they seem to be really excited, but I know that was one of the ones that he talked a lot about. Okay. So again, another good pick, and I think when all the fans are happy, I wasn't surprised to see that the media gave us like a low grade, but hey, I guess they don't understand who we are. And it wouldn't be the Falcons if nobody didn't do that. Just so you can have a dog fight. Yeah. You know, rough your feathers up a little bit so you can. We're more of a show and tell versus we ain't got to talk a lot.
Yeah, we ain't got, y'all don't know what's coming to you. You know what? I'm seeing a lot of new. I think this experiment of putting it on Matt Mike's channel. I just want to pause right here and just say thank you guys for. If you're watching the Ladybirds of AFN for the very first time, let us know. Put some red and black in the chat. If you're on over at X, if you're on Facebook, come on over to Atlanta Falcons Nation and come give the Ladybirds some love. If you're liking the conversation, you're liking what you're hearing. And if you got some women that want to talk some more football, hit us up. You can email me at Maggietproductions at gmail.com. You can find me on social media. We're always recruiting more women. We're actually, for the season, something that we want to do for the season is we want to have our opposing fans, ladies, come on and talk about their teams. We had the Kansas City Chiefs ladies came on one of the episodes. So we want to have, other ladies, players, fans of their team to come on respectfully. Come on over here and trash talk with us and talk about their team and upcoming and things like that. We would love to have you. So, and look, fellas, teach these ladies some football. Ladies, sit down and watch some football. You might just enjoy yourself a little bit, okay? Go beyond the pom-poms and actually take a gander in some play, watching some plays and film, reviews and things like that. I've been doing this since I've been a football fan, since, the Cowboy was all on our TV as, before I even knew what a Falcon was. I just knew that there was football and there's a Super Bowl playing and my dad is over there cooking and he got his drink in his hand. And I'm over here like, oh, who's the halftime show? Because it's Michael Jackson or something, that's what I grew up on, Now the ladies in our family, they wasn't heavy on football like one of my aunties, but just watching the guys sit there and be excited about that. It was tradition. I was like, I want to be a part of that. Back when we had the starter jackets and things like that, we was, we had prime time running down and playing baseball over here. Exciting times for me. So I'm just honestly a Falcons, a sports fan. I'm Hawks, Braves, all of that. So just want to give you a little spiel about who the Ladybirds are. Miss Pam got she's the veteran of the game,
Yeah. My brother, shout out to my older brother, Alex Holcomb, because he the one, it was the Eagles and the Falcons playoff game. And I sat down and he was patient enough to tell me what was going on. Of course, they won that playoff game back in I think it was 76, maybe. But a huge Houston Oilers fan with the Earl Campbell and Bum Phillips. I was a Houston Oilers fan until they disbanded their franchise. And so I had both Falcons and Oilers going on, So that's my story.
Okay. And I'm going to get Chrissy's story too, since we're introducing ourselves, since we have some people that are watching for the first time. I see some red and black. So that's what I'm saying. Some of these names I haven't seen before. Dog Pound. Thank you for that. And then Bonus. Bonos, or how you say that. This is my first time tuning in to the Ladybirds of AFN. Not gonna lie, this is very awesome. maybe y'all can
Thank
talk
you.
some sense to my fiance. She is a how do you make that work, sir?
Yeah.
So
Well, I was almost afraid to tell you guys, but you'll like this one too. Moira doesn't actually know that much about the game, so I went, well, pick a logo. Go, just pick a team, pick a logo that you like. And she goes, oh, I like the fleur de lis. Conversation was over.
you gotta work on it. You gotta work on it. You gotta work on it. Yes. Your story. How did you become a Ladybird of AFN and watching the Falcons? Because you in territory that's not even. Let's let them know a little bit about behind your background.
Oh,
My background.
Miss
Christy.
I grew up in a house with brothers. I'm the only girl and a lot of male cousins, and so that my house, my mom's house was the house everybody would go to where she was more relaxed. So where you can hear everything and express the way you want to a little bit, and so that's how I ran across during as a child at the age of 9 on up until Michael Vick became the Falcons quarterback. I was a Bills fan, so I guess I'm a glutton for punishment for being on teams that never won the Super Bowl. But
yes,
but I was looking for more content because even on Facebook, I was a part of some different groups that were Falcons, but when I came to YouTube, I was looking for more content creators relate and just finding more fans, because when you're in South Mississippi, this close to New Orleans, and I was born in Louisiana and always in New Orleans, it's very difficult. It is hard. Yes. But I always roll down there with my Falcon stuff on, and I've always gone to that Atlanta New Orleans game. So I wanted to go to more games in Atlanta, and that's how I started branching out and looking for, well, where are the fans at? Where are the women at? Where are the fans at? And my first on YouTube finding anybody was K Styles, Mad Mike, and Big Low. And this was back in 2020, 2021, right in that time. And from there, I'm probably following about 30 people right now.
Yeah.
So that's how I found Maggie T, and then Miss Pam and a lot of other people. But I followed over from Facebook, like a lot of people found us tonight. So shout out to everybody that came on, and and I've grown a lot and I've learned a lot just from listening. And so listening to it's like I lost my youngest brother back in 2017. So when COVID hit, it was just real hard because we were very close. So listening to the fellas all the time, I could just see and hear. It's like being that kid. And I was saying on another show one night that sometimes at night, if I miss shows, they're automatically, YouTube is something that it automatically go to those, everything that you watch. Yeah. So I fall asleep sometimes watching, but it's like being at home. It's like, being that kid again, and you can hear them fussing and halfway cussing because mama's not paying attention, about sports and stuff. And so it just feels like family. Yeah. And so I'm really appreciative of that, because it's always, but it's even better when you travel and you meet people and it's fans, and it's our fans. And I've had a wonderful experience as a fan. So I'm a forever Falcon.
Thank you, that Miss Christy. So I just wanted to give you guys a little, just a preview, if you're new here, of who the Ladybirds of AFN is. Of course, the Ladybirds of Atlanta Falcons Nation, in case you're new to the channel. We are the voice of the fans. So, but we're going to go ahead and get back into this draft talk now. I just wanted to do that little commercial break there because we're still on the road now.
Sale pick.
We got the Selm pick. So we talked about, we said Xavier Watts.
That's it, the 7th round.
Okay, so we finished. Okay. So round 7, we decided, after waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, let's trade up. Let's just move up a little bit. Like, but I guess they was like, we got to get this guy. We wanted him. The Falcons pick offensive tackle Jack Nelson. Now, I was out and about dealing with Night Riders of award show. Shout out to him. He got producer of the year, Yo ATL Rap. So I had everybody else fill me in. So I don't really have much say on this one, but apparently a good pickup. What you got on that, Miss Pam?
He's a swing tackle. He could play right tackle, right guard, possibly center. I mean, he's that versatile. But yeah, it's a good pickup. Those Wisconsin, they produce those offensive players. So yes, it's a good pick by Atlanta.
Okay. And Big Will, you there? How do you feel about this pick?
Oh yeah, it was a great pick. We need protection on the offense side of the ball. With Jake Matthews getting older, so plus he played multiple positions, so you can get him that cross training, which our coach like to do, cross train the guys. So think this bring more competition in that offensive line role.
Okay. And Blackberry, your thoughts on that pick?
Yeah, I'm just gonna pick back on Will. I think he's gonna be a cross-train piece where when you need for an emergency offensive lineman to be plugged in, he'll be able to be plugged in. Well on that line. I think the offensive line is pretty much intact already as far as who's going to start. But Nelson gonna be a good piece you can plug in for emergency situations. So it's a good pick.
Okay. And Miss Christy.
I don't know a lot about him, but I know from what I've heard, just a lot of people say that he's more experienced as a left tackle. And with him being younger and who is it, Jake Matthews we have, and who's that right?
Caleb McGarry.
Yeah.
Caleb McGarry, who they like to hate on a lot.
McGarry.
Right. He's actually a damn good right tackle.
I think that, he just brings a lot of he'll be bringing a lot of strength to be an ability to play in either one.
Okay. Thank you, Christy. I'm actually trying to bring up these undrafted picks too. I'm going to pull that up in a minute. But real, your thoughts?
This was a real sleeper for me. Again, versatility has been the name of this draft, very much so. The fact that he's guard flexible, possibly even center flexible, the one position on that offensive line I'm not 100% set on. I'm not sure if Ryan Noozle's the guy at center, but if we can get Jack working inside, that's a huge body. If the notes I've got here are right, he's 6'7", 317. Now you picture that coming out on a swing route to knock someone out for Bijan to get space. That is a huge body. Another one on that line. And as I say, if he's flexible and wants to play centre, I wouldn't be mad at that. Because as I say, that's the one place I feel like needs a little shoring up. Just to kind of throw this in as well for anyone that wants to kind of doubt or sort of say that Caleb's not the guy. The one time I've seen him play a very, very bad game, it was against TJ Watt. TJ Watt can wreck your entire offensive scheme. He has that ability. So I'm not going to sit here and say Caleb's not a very, very good right tackle. He is. So if we can get Jack Hunter playing guard, I think that would be maybe be the choice for me.
Okay. And I'm gonna get to these comments, and then I have a big question to ask. And then we're gonna get into the undrafted. We got time, y'all. I know it's 2 hours, but if y'all ready to go, the conversation is good. So
ain't nobody else got nothing going on. We good.
We ain't got nothing to talk. We ain't got nothing else going on. No games tonight. No nothing. So engine number 9 said, I give our Atlanta Falcons scout department an A+ grade. They did their thing. Also, Terry and Raw, awesome job this 2020-25 draft.
Yes.
Scotty Robertson said Atlanta Falcons are going to have a top 10 defense in 2025. Corey Gear said nothing wrong with Poole, but if he can help that 2016 defense, imagine Bowman now.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Peoples, baby. His fiance is a Panther fan, so I understand some people's pain. Bill Bowman Jr. is a ball hawk and a playmaker too.
Yeah, 11 career picks, right up there.
Yes. Lucky Bill Luciano. Love all the picks and still dreaming. Please don't wake me. Oh yes.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Hattiesburg right. In the house, Jerry Bowie. Hattiesburg, okay.
Okay.
Let me finish this dream. Please don't wake me up out this dream.
Yeah.
Let me finish it.
Brian, people said I became a Falcons fan when they blacked out a lot of the Panthers games in 2000s and played the Falcons games a lot more, especially when Vic played.
They play, yeah. A lot of people come.
This the guy that starts. This the guy that started all games at Wisconsin. I'm with that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Keep on rolling, y'all. What I'm impressed was that young Blank was in the draft room, and that's what we're gonna talk about now. So I'm gonna bring up the undrafted free agents.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because that's the what? Is that the 8th round?
That's the 8th round.
Yep.
8th round.
Okay. People was like, there ain't no 8th round. Yes,
it is.
There is.
That's the 8th round.
You're making the right phone calls as an 8th round.
He say the 8th round. We got an 8th round. Goddamn.
Yeah, that's why he said the 8th round.
Yeah. So
call it what you want. It ain't the draft.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what? Now let me know this. Can y'all see the players' names?
Kind of, sort of.
Is it?
Yeah, we see it.
Okay, I'll say it if it's kind of a. Let's see. I probably can't make it bigger. We in full screen. Exit full screen. Well, we're in full screen. So it says exit full. It was in full screen. I can't believe that. Okay. So we have Simon Barrow Jr., college from Miami. He weighs about 283 pounds. His height is 6'1". He's a defensive lineman. What do y'all think about that one?
I'm going to jump on that first, if I may. I was actually hoping to get a chat with Simeon's dad, Simeon Barrow Sr., just to get a little bit of sort of a little in as to the motivations, how he's feeling after being called. But I've watched this guy. He's a transfer. He started out as a Michigan State Spartan, and he's defensive tackle, defensive end, flexible. So again, he's going to be. I feel like he's going to be another decent tool to have in that front 12 guys for rotation. I think he could do with maybe putting on another maybe 15 pounds if he wants to play that true D tackle. But I think as an off guy, maybe a 3-tech, I think he's going to be very decent for us.
Okay. I'm looking for another better visual one, Pam, while you're going on. But Miss Pam, go ahead and your opinion about that one, if you know anything about that unsigned draft.
I don't know much about him from base, but I hadn't heard anything about him, to be honest. So
I guess what we can do here is because I haven't really looked at that list too much. If you guys just kind of want to, whoever is familiar with these picks, if y'all want to just chime in and just give your thoughts on some of these players.
Yeah,
I'm trying to find out the visual.
Y'all go ahead.
Okay.
Okay. So we've got Nick Nash.
Back on this player.
We've got Nick Nash. So he's just the whole class looks good, to be honest. The main standouts for me would be Nick Nash, as I say, San Diego State Spartan. He was the Triple Crown winner among all receivers. The only other receiver to have more yards was a tight end, Harold Fannin, out of Bowling Green. So to get him as a UDFA was crazy value. I feel the same with Kobe Bryant out of Kansas, another 11 pick guy. So another way to shore up that defense. we also got Joshua Simon, tight end out of South Carolina, who's looking to be a solid backup for Kyle as well. He's more of that sort of inside blocking tight end, but I reckon he can get out in the flats and get us some yardage if we have to as well. So outside of those four, I haven't. Outside of those three and Simeon Barrow, I haven't really looked at a lot at the rest of the guys. But I've also read a lot about the good things about the wide receiver we got out of Vandy. He's meant to be decent too, Quincy Skinner. So that's someone I still need to take a look at.
Okay. Anybody else know anyone on this list that wanted to chime in?
Yeah, I'm familiar with the Georgia Tech tight end. He's a good blocker, so I was glad that they picked him up.
We got a Georgia Tech tight end.
Yep.
No, we got the South Carolina tight end. The guy from Tech was the tackle, Jordan Williams, I think.
Oh, you know what? I'm wrong. South Carolina.
The tackle.
The tackle was Georgia Tech, but the South Carolina tight end. I'm sorry, that's the one who I was talking about.
Oh yeah, Joshua Simon.
Yes.
Yeah, he looks good. He looks good.
He was projected to be drafted somewhere mid-draft, and he fell to the undrafted pool. So that was a lot of what we can attribute to the Nick Nashes, to Joshua Simon, the Kobe Bryants. The reason why a lot of guys like that fail so far to where they fell out of the draft was the same reason why Billy Bowman failed so far, the same reason why Xavier Watts failed so far. Because these offensive linemen, they show the league why you're going to need us in the future to protect your young quarterbacks. Because they came out in the pro days and in the combine, and they showed they behinds. And when you turn on film, you see that a lot of the college quarterback today, it's not because they ain't got good protection. A lot of it is because they just holding the damn ball too damn long. And so a lot of the quarterback teachings on the college level, I'm pretty sure it's going to start being addressed that some step has been taken back on the progression of the quarterback position, because the offensive linemen be doing their thing, man. And they showed you in the draft and in the combine and on the pro days, they hella athletic. They very disciplined. They in damn good shape. You're going to need us to protect your young quarterback. So that's why a lot of these defensive pieces and skill positions got pushed so far down in the draft.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Big Will, you got any thoughts on that as well? Somebody on this list, and chat. Yeah, put in who's your favorite. Who's the players that you like that we picked up in undrafted.
Yeah, the thing caught my eye was the defensive lineman from Miami. Then we picked up Kobe Bryant. I don't know how many children named Kobe Bryant, but he can actually play. And,
it's probably a whole society of Kobe Bryant.
There was another one we picked up that I liked too. Nick Nash. But they did. If you look at this list, all this spell for me is competition. All these guys can play. They're not just bodies. So we're gonna lose some good players in the active count. We're gonna lose some good players. But what the Falcons gonna have to do is find out who they can get away with putting on waivers and putting to the, to the practice squad. That's gonna be their hardest thing. Who can I get away with throwing on waivers that I can put on my practice squad? That's gonna be the hardest thing. And all I'm seeing there is competition.
Good thing, to have this much talent, people that can just play now. At this point, we're in a good position at this point. Wasn't Nate Lamon a undrafted free agent?
That's what I'm saying. How many Hall of Famers we know that was undrafted free agents? There's a lot of them that made the Hall of Fame, so we can't just go because they were undrafted. We got to understand how the draft works. The draft works like it goes off runs, so teams get scared sometimes because they think their guys ain't gonna be there, so they make a pick that wouldn't usually go that high up in the draft because they thought that person wasn't gonna be there when they get to it. You feel what I'm saying? So it'd be like that, man.
Okay, and I want to get back to what Brian Peoples had to say. Then what you said something else. Dick Will, you had something else to add?
Oh no, I'm good.
Okay. I want to get into this conversation right here because basically we kind of saw young Blank, was in there. I think he was making the calls to the drafted and in the draft room and started to show his presence just a little bit more. So, Arthur Blank is not a spring chicken anymore.
Getting up in age.
He's getting there up in age, and maybe he's starting to think, okay, let's. And like I said, I forgot whose show I was on. Oh, Regulators, and I said now is a good time for young Blank to come in and learn the ropes when we actually are building towards something great in the future. Like not only were these picks was good for now, definitely good for the future because we got some young talent coming in that can be developed with a coach that's ready to coach them. And then my question is, and in addition to that, shout out to young Blank learning it. What is it, our defense? What defense are we going to be running? I see somebody going to jump in the back. Okay, big deal. Okay, back. What defense do you think we're running at this point? Or is it?
Well, the base defense could still be a 3-4, or it could be a 4-3. It could either one, but it really doesn't matter, because when you got this amount of versatility on the defensive side of the ball, then it don't really matter what defense you're running. Mm-hmm. What's on paper could say 4-3, 3-4, but when you turn on the tape and you look at the film, you'll see multiple defenses being used. That's what I'm predicting we're about to see. But as far as when it comes to Josh Blank, or as I like to call him, Arthur Blank Jr., when it come to him, I want to give a shout out to Wolf Solidified. He was the first person that brought it to my attention. Maybe I want to say a couple years ago.
He did.
He brought it to my attention that he seen the grooming of Josh Blank early on, and that's when I started looking more into it. And I think what we gonna start accrediting to the young Blank now is when talent wants to be in Atlanta, he's gonna have a lot to do with that. Because I want people to take in mind the undrafted pool. The undrafted free agents are exactly that, free agents. They don't have to sign to the Falcons just because the Falcons called. Falcons weren't the only team calling. They chose to come to Atlanta. Nick Nash and the rest of them, they chose to come.
Yes.
So you got to have staff members. You got to have somebody that's ahead of that's spearheading this whole soon-to-be dynasty, in my opinion, that players actually want to come and work for. Yes. I think Josh Blank is being worked into being that guy. That's what he's being groomed to be.
That's what we need, because I felt like Arthur Blank, he can play favoritism sometimes. Sometimes he hold on a little too much or won't say much about things that needs to, decision that needs to be made. Some of these coaches, some of these decisions should have been a lot different. As far as who has control of what goes on in operations day to day, little lackluster, a little bit, we need a guy that's gonna, not take shit, hold these players accountable and these coaches accountable, etc. And back to Dog Pound, he was saying that we were talking about the defense as well. I think we'll run a defense depending on who we face, with the different types of versatile athletes we have now and playmakers, and we're gonna see a lot more of that with Mr. Junior.
Just to piggyback that as well.
Learn the mode.
Just to piggyback that as well. I was just going to say, I don't feel like 3-4, 4-3. I don't feel like that's as important as it once was. I feel like the only reason that you have to put a base defense now is really to set whether your edge guys are coming out as linebackers or defensive edge. You know what I mean? To set that kind of standard. But I think at this point, the way offensive football is played, if you're not able to run a multiple D, I don't think you're going to really be able to compete anymore. I think the sport's just evolved to that point now. For me personally, anyway.
Well, I don't want us to get it twisted to think that you still don't have to have a base defense that you can go to when you need to get back to center. Okay, because that's something that's tricky about defense, is that we know offense controls the tempo of the game. Offense controls and dictates how you're going to play defense. Well, the best defenses over time, over the history of time, the best defenses, they have a solidified setup that they go to. 3-4, 4-3, whatever it is, they go to that and they're going to do their best work in that formation.
Yeah.
They're going to adjust. They're going to
definitely want to have a solid base. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Go ahead, man. Yeah.
And oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I'm basically saying, you know, we're definitely trying to get these plug and play players, versatile players, because you know, for years and years and years on now, Falcons defense, this has just been predictable. We couldn't get to the quarterback, and the fact that this guy is a linebacker coach, so you know, to see the development of that is going to be kind of awesome to see, as well as we want it to be where, like you said, it depends on the offensive, you know, players who we're going up against. You're going to adjust. Like one thing that we just didn't do was situational football, where it's like, okay, you know what, we need to run this because, like, let's see, who is it? Who was it? Nick Saban. He was good at that. Just switching it up. Who was? I'm trying to think of who I'm talking about. I can't think of it right now. But it's a coach that. No, Patriots. My bad. Patriots.
Belichick.
Thank you. I was like, who am I talking about right now? But you saw how we had to pet on them, and I hate to bring this PTSD, you know, moment up.
2016.
Well, not hearing it. No hearing it.
Switch it up. I know. Hold your ears. Hold your ear. I'm not listening. La la la. But that's the perfect example of somebody that made the adjustments when it was needed. We just didn't have that. So now we have it to where we can run anything we want to run. You know, we can play whatever defense that works for that team, and then switch it up because these players can move anywhere and do anything at any position and still be just as competitive and great. I'm excited to see how all of this is going to just come together, like a defense that's just dominating like that. I'm excited.
It's exciting.
I'm definitely excited. That's where I'm at with it.
Yes.
Sometimes an adjustment can be as simple as, okay, they killing us when you line up in a 2-eye. Just go into a 3-tech and give them a little less leverage on the outside than what we've been giving them. Sometimes that's the simplest adjustment. It's not necessarily coming out of your set or coming out of your formation, but just making those kinds of adjustments, those little things matter too. But it, you know, can I make a comment on the Uber thing with? So I think we get so caught up in what we don't like about a coach that we forget that they are in the position they're in for a reason. And you can't take that reasoning away just because you don't like something about that coach. When it comes to Raheem Morris, he's a defensive back specialist. He's a defensive back coach who's also had experience with wide receivers as well. But DBs is his thing. We've been going DB crazy this offseason. It's been a DB frenzy. So while you do want Jeff Ulbrich to do his thing with the linebackers, we can't let that overshadow the fact that your head coach is a defensive-minded coach. So his imprint on the team is going to be what you have to look at the most, because that defensive coordinator more likely isn't going to be there for the duration of the time that the head coach is going to be there. So they have to have the same goals in mind for a defense, and he does need to let Uber do his thing with the linebackers, but pay very close attention to Raheem Morris and Jerry Gray's secondary strategies in this upcoming season, because that's where the real core of the defense is at. It's unorthodox. It's very unorthodox that your secondary is the core of your defense, but that's where it is with this one.
Good. So overall, let's go ahead and get to these grades of the draft, since we don't talked about the overall, undrafted, the draft, free agency. Now we got the 90-man roster going, and we got to break it down eventually. How y'all feeling right about now? How confident are you feeling about this team going into the regular season? Anybody? And
I feel like I could quite confidently put maybe an 11 or 12 win ceiling on this team this year. I feel like the steps that we've had to make, the spots where we've had to improve, we've done so. I feel like it's going to take a good little while in training camp to sort of figure out what everybody does well, maybe not so well, where they're going to be most effective, where they're going to be able to excel. So there's still questions in place, but in terms of the bodies we've picked up through the draft and through the UDFA especially, I don't want to go over the top. I don't want to go all out A, but I'm going to say A minus.
Okay, A minus. All right, and Pam, see you shaking your head there. Your overall grade of just where we are so far. Did Terry cook?
He did cook, but I'm gonna say A minus to a B plus, because I still say he should have drafted a D line or a D tackle.
I'd agree with that.
Because I feel we need the space eater at front, since we don't have Grady and all that. So I'm not quite as sure how Root and everybody else gonna be. It's just a wait and see. But that's my assessment right there.
Yeah, it's I'm what have you done for me lately type of person, and wait and see as well. It sounds good on paper. It's exciting time to be an Atlanta Falcon.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
how you, Raheem? It's your job, bro.
That's it.
What are you gonna do? That's what it truly matters.
Yeah.
What are
That's
you
the question.
Right?
That's the question.
But I'm giving them an A.
Okay.
Because I look at it like this, I can't complain about nothing that they got. You know what I'm saying? I hear people keep saying we need a space heater. No, we need a penetrator. That's what we need. And if they got penetrators on this defensive line, we don't need a space heater. We don't need somebody sitting there eating cheeseburger holding people. We need somebody to penetrate. So we got penetration on this line. Let the competition go on and put the best man out there. Okay. Like I say, they got to show me this year. Show me.
100%. Especially in terms of Jeff Ulbrich. It's like, this was your draft class, bro. You got your guys. Now, if you don't know how to use them, that's your head.
Yeah,
absolutely. Blackberry.
I'm gonna give him an A minus. For the same reasons Ms. Pam stated. I would have liked for him to draft one of those impact defensive tackles that I seen go before we picked again. So they did want Deion Walker when it was time for us to pick in the third?
The
third.
Yeah.
They did want him, but they just wasn't able to get up far, to make a deal with somebody to be able to get up there to get them. That's why when they did get a deal done, they got the next best player on their board, which was Xavier Watts. And So I'm not mad at it, but because that's a part of performance when you're unable to get something done. So I gotta give them an A- on that. But other than that, hey man, I'm happy. I'm happy.
Okay. And T.
Yes,
Terry
sir.
said, good show, queens and gents. We are going to run 425 50% of the time. Josh Blank is already VP of Media Marketing for the Blank Sports World. Bring in the soccer world, football, etc. to Atlanta. And I guess we probably will get ready to wrap this one on up. ATL Leo said A for the draft. I honestly can say,
they did good.
I'm very satisfied. I have nothing really bad to say. Maybe like you said, what both Pam and Blackberry said, but at the end of the day, we got aggressive when we needed to be aggressive in this draft. I felt that they stuck to what they had been talking about. They just said we're going to be heavy on defense, and they did just damn that. So,
and
good players were on the board at the time. So I'm knocking on wood over here because that's too good to be true. Like somebody said, just don't wake me up. I'm in a dream. Don't want to wake up from it. Engine number 9 said, question is Jalen Ramsey rumors are truly heating up to y'all acknowledgement.
I've heard it teased, but we don't have 15, 18, 20 million dollars to pay another defensive back. We just don't have it.
Yeah.
Point blank, I'm not big on names. I'm sorry. I ain't big on names. We don't need them.
No.
Point blank.
No, I don't think we do.
No, because we got playmaker on the team in the 8th round, so we good.
You develop beasts from people that's unknown and hungry and ready to make a name for themselves. I'm tired of coming up here. Let's give the kitchen sink for somebody because of a name.
That man looking for a check, and we got to give up draft capital to give him. They looking for a check.
Well, y'all, it come from a place of the fan base ain't used to winning shit. So we want to go. We want to go pilfer. We want to go pilfer other teams. We want to go get the hottest thing in free agency. We want to get the hottest thing on the trade blocks because we just not used to winning. But we encouraging you right here on the Ladybirds of Atlanta Falcon Nation. We encouraging every fan. All we ask you to do is just go do the homework on the players that we just acquired. And if you get the feeling that we still are in damn no man's land or in the twilight zone, and we just got no hope, we need to go get somebody that's already made a name. If you feel like that after watching this group of guys we just got in this draft and in this undrafted pool, if you still feel that way, then I don't know what to tell you because I don't see nothing but impact players. I don't see nothing but destruction and chaos, and I see a lot of teams regretting the day they got to play these Falcons because it's about to go down in the A-Town, man. I can tell you that. Right now.
Yes, sir.
They finally listen to you, Blackberry. They finally listen to you.
They finally listen and listen. I just hope they put it together. Just put it all together.
Yeah,
that's it. Just put it all together.
So on that note, people, we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here, but I want to call everybody out. It's a lot of us on Twitter right about now. I'm assuming that's where the audience is coming from. I'm gonna get ready to go put the link in the Twitter's chat. I need for you, every last one of you guys, to come on over to YouTube because these fellas are getting ready to give their channels too. So you can go ahead and follow them. I wanted just to kind of get the name out there for the Ladybirds. If you're liking this conversation, we'll be back next Wednesday because we normally come on Tuesdays, but we got some obligations going on Tuesday. So we'll be back next week around the same time on Wednesday. But I'm going to get the copy this link, taking it to Twitter or X or whatever the fuck you want to call it. I'm sick of it. Come on over here and give us a subscribe on Atlanta Falcons Nation. Yes. Okay. Atlanta Falcons Nation YouTube. And come in the chat over here and say I'm new. Some people are new watching this. I want to know some red and black in the chat. I just need you to come on over here. And it's free.
Yes.
It's absolutely free to subscribe. Free. We appreciate you. If you want to see more of this and more content, hey, we're still over here, people. Did you forget? Did you forget? Okay. So I'm gonna put this in the chat. But go ahead, Miss Pam. Let everybody know how to find you and what's coming up for you at this moment.
I'm looking forward to how this team is gonna develop. So I'm looking forward for the schedule to drop for when the summer the training camp start. Mm-hmm. So we'll be attending that, and you can reach me, like I said, on this panel. I'm on part of the Ladybird AFN, and we normally come on Tuesday, but like Maggie said, next week we got obligations, so we'll be on Wednesday at 8 at this time. Okay. And of course, I'm on Facebook and I'm on X also, Instagram. I hadn't quite made it to TikTok yet. That's been kind of bumpy right now.
TikTok,
you're not missing much.
I've been on TikTok a little bit, but I'm starting to understand what it's about and everything else.
Yeah.
On there all day long in their living room and just want to talk to folks all day long. I said, Lord, like I get up, I see notifications. Folks just be sleeping on TikTok. Yeah, on and everything. I'm like, that is too much time on social media. I get it now. So I have a new audience over there. A shout out to my people over there, TikTok. If you're watching from, you're not watching TikTok, but you came on over here. But like I said, I put something in the chat. I said, if you are new, to the watching us, come on over to Falcons Nation.
Yes,
the dark side. All right, Mr. Big Wheel. Let them know how to find you.
Oh yeah, man. Y'all already know Will the Georgia Reap on everything, man.
Everything.
Catch me on anything Atlanta Falcon Nation got going on. If I got time, I'm up in there. Y'all already know. Catch me Wednesday nights on everything Atlanta sports. And that's it.
Hey. Short and sweet. Everything Atlanta sports, Atlanta Falcons Nation, and of course his own channel. Y'all show him some love when y'all join. So
oh yeah. So if y'all ain't did so already, go to my page, Will the Georgia Reap on YouTube, man. Hit that like and subscribe. Y'all know we bringing that content over here. Y'all already know.
All right. So thank you about that.
Thank you.
Will and Blackberry. Let them know how to find you.
Well, thank you very much. After you, sir.
Oh, okay. On YouTube is the home team with Blackberry. That's Blackberry, no C, just a K. So when you go on YouTube and you put me in there, just put in the home team with Blackberry and subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm also on Twitch as Blackberry Lorex. Once again, that's Blackberry, no C, just a K. On Twitch and X and on Facebook as well. So y'all come check me out, man. I'm pretty good at getting everybody riled up. I can pump you up. I can make you mad. I can make you feel glad. I can do all that at the same time. So y'all make sure y'all come check me out, man. I'm gonna give you energy. I'm gonna give you information, and we gonna feel good about it at the end of the day. So y'all go do the thing. Appreciate you.
All right. And Mr. He's new. He's a new face, but not new to me. Will the Thrill. Let them know what you got going on and who are you? Introduce yourself, because not a lot of people know who you are, and then how to find you.
Okay. Well, first off, thank you all again for having me. This would be day 7, back to back for me on the AFN stuff. So my name's Will. I'm a former wide receiver. Just hoping to get a farewell tour in kit one more season. So that's where I'm coming from. So if you want to show the team some love, that's the East Kilbride Pirates on all the social medias, as you see there.
And
red and black everything. You know how I do.
What's where can they find them, and what country?
Well, that's over in Scotland. We're based in Scotland, but there's teams all over the UK. So that's the British American Football Association on Facebook, on X, all the usual channels.
Okay.
You'll find me through Will the Thrill Waddle as well. I'm just sort of carving out a little niche for myself in terms of the media creation. So if y'all are enjoying the international guys, as I say, if you're in the chat and you're from England, Ireland, Germany, Mexico, Spain, Italy, hit your boy up because I'm trying to build an international squad for the AFN. So we're round the clock, we're round the world. That's ultimately the end goal. I'm also kind of touching base with Ryder at the moment because I'm a degree level singer and guitar player as well. So we're working on some theme music for the AFN as well. In an ideal world, that shouldn't take too long, but we're going to kick around a few ideas and see what happens. So, as I say, just keep your eyes peeled here. If you want to see more of me with the guys, with the ladies, just hit us down in chat. Let us know what you think. But until then, I'm grinding in the background. You know how I do. It's 4 a.m. and your boy don't sleep, so.
He sure don't. What time is it there, Will?
4:04 a.m.
Oh my God.
4:04 a.m. this morning talking Falcons football with us.
Wow.
So, you know what?
When I commit.
Have the morning now. It's morning our time. It will be afternoon his time. But seriously, if you are watching at 4 in the morning right now, hit up Maggietproductions at gmail.com, or of course Will the Thrill Waddell. You can find him all on social media as well. Hit either one of us up if you want to be a part of that international show. And we would like to have you. So, and even if you guys just want to jump on the international show and you're still, in the state, and you just want to get on the grind of the, Grind Heart Will campaign, you want to join the morning capade, hit us up. We'll get you on, because I think everybody's excited about football. And I think that the Atlanta Falcons Nation, Blackberry, everybody, we need a morning show. So let's talk some Falcons footballs Monday morning, if you will, right after we won a game. So, and to hear some cussing and fussing from some Brits over in across the
Yes, ma'am. Well, you heard it here first, but funnily enough, we've also got a Loch Ness in Scotland. So I've been talking to Ty, and I think Ty's going to come on the international show as well. Then we've got Loch Ness and Loch Ness. So, yeah, as I say, you want that to happen, just keep your eyes peeled, folks. We're working behind the scenes to make things great for you.
Okay, so Loch Ness, we typically could get him in the evenings, but I think mornings probably works better for him anyway. He's a manager. In case a lot of people don't know who Ty Kell is, he's one of our crew members on Atlanta Falcons Nation. But you see him periodically because being a manager, you're on demand. So maybe the morning shift works better for him. So I'm excited. T. Terry, Corey Gear, LA Rams, what's happening? Like Christian said, thanks to everyone in the chat who spread the word about the Ladybirds of AFN. We are here to stay.
Yep.
Okay. Show us some love. Thank you again. And thank you, T. Terry. Great show, queens and gents. And let's good night, people. I know it's late.
Thank you so much.
And I'm ready to eat.
Thank you, ladies.
Peace.
Good night.
Good night, guys.